Well, we're going to get started. Welcome everyone. Those of you that has just joined us, you guys can complete the register in the chat box while we get started. So we're gonna look at, firstly, we're gonna do a simple connection activity, right? So connecting is something that is very important in a business. You need to be able to connect with clients. You need to be able to connect with partners. You need to be able to share with people that can share what you do. And that's the important thing when you connect with someone, irrespective of your industry. If someone really connects with you in 2-3 years down the line, and someone requires your services, right? Someone requires your skills, someone requires assistance from you, they should be able to go back and remember, you know what, this is the person that I've connected with, and this person can assist you, and then they should be able to connect you, you know, with that person. And that is if you really connect with someone. So we're going to try and connect with you guys. So I'm going to go first. My name is Khalid Smith, the founder of the Greenhouse Foundation. We run the programs for the City of Cape Town online in all 24 districts of the City of Cape Town, and also online every month. And we'll be doing that for the next 3 years. Okay, we are passionate about business development, helping entrepreneurs grow their business. So if you need help in those areas, then we can obviously assist you. Okay, so I want you guys to share the industries you're in, what industry you're in. You can put it in the chat box. So you share, put in the chat box what industry you're in, also which area you're from, so we can get an indication of where you guys are from, which area you're from, and which industry you are in the chat box. Everyone can just type in the chat box what industries you are in and which areas you are from. And then I will go through the chat and just see from Bonteville, welcome. The industries, so you in landscaping, Nasli, thank you for sharing. Angelo's in the motor industry from Mitchell's Plain. Welcome, Angelo. Belleville in construction. Leonis in the construction. Renal Vitboy, welcome from Atlantis. We in Atlantis quite often, assisting on the ASISA program. So glad you guys could join us. Lindsay, welcome. Beauty and maintenance. It's going very fast. Odwa, export industry from Nyanga. Wonderful. Edwina Davids, welcome. Training, community development, renovations, Jacques Smith. Hemp foods, wonderful. Yogani and cosmetics, hemp fiber, very interesting. We have a broad variety of businesses, excellent. Construction, safety and security, okay. Health and safety, TJ, excellent. So yeah, so we're gonna get, it can keep coming. Dynamic powder, plant and nursery, interest in importing solar, wonderful. So we have entrepreneurs. That is what we want. We were looking for entrepreneurs, and we clearly have. There's florists in Lotus River, solar PV installations. It's coming through. Chico waste management. We definitely have the right group. So right, remember, we're looking for entrepreneurs that want to grow their business. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for sharing. We're going to get started with the PowerPoint as we go. Remember, I'm going to share this PowerPoint, the PowerPoint presentation with you, so you don't have to make notes. But we would like you guys to have a pen and paper with you to write down some notes on a strategy for 2023, because that's what we want. We want you guys to leave with something. We want you to leave with a plan of action for 2023, right? So we're going to do some activities a little bit later, and you guys will need a pen and paper for that. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Naeem, you can just let me know if it is full screen. Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Thank you, Naeem. So we're moving on. So sharing, we've just done. So thank you very much. You guys can continue sharing on the chat box, right? It's important to share what you love, what you're passionate about, how you can add value to people's lives, and vice versa. And it's and especially in today's day and age, you know, with Facebook and social media, people think they're connected, but they're not really connected. Okay, they're not really connected with someone, because people need to understand what it is that you're passionate about. And the only way they can do that is if you're really willing to share, with people, right? But it's not always that easy, especially with COVID. You know, people is trying to keep a distance, but if you're in business, you need contact and you need to be able to share what it is that you're passionate about. And the reason why is because of these three things, right? This is why we're here today: to increase sales, increase your profits, and increase your customer base. Okay, so those are the three things that we're going to focus on today, because when you if you were to put a value on your business, what is it worth right now? These are the things I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you, what is your sales, right? What is your turnover? How profitable is your business, and how many customers do you have? So if you have a business and you are not collecting not only customers, which is people that buys from you, but you're collecting people that knows what you do. Those are very valuable. Those are valuable things to have. People that knows what you do, those are the people that you want to collect, and you need to collect those people in a database. Yes. So if you don't have a database of contacts, right, of possible clients, prospective clients, okay, you don't have a business, because this determines the value of your business. This determines the value of your business. So we see companies like Standard Bank has just purchased Liberty Insurance Company. They didn't purchase an insurance company. What they did is they purchased their clients. Yes, so the clients they purchased, right? So very, very important for you guys to make sure of these three things. And this is if you're the director of your business, you need to make sure that these things are moving every single day. Are you profitable? And if you do work with government like we do, right, and we want you to work for government, but the rates are low. Yeah, rates are low. It's not, and if your costing is not right, you're going to be very, very busy, but you're not going to be making money. And this is the thing. We are in business, and we mentioned this many times before. We are in business, right, to be profitable, to make money. We are not in business to be busy, right? And there's a difference, right? Because we see businesses that are very, very busy, right? We run turnaround for DTI and the Department of Labor, where we assist companies in distress, in financial distress. But when we go into those businesses and we look at everyone is busy. You know, they're sitting with contracts and they got work, and the guys are out on the road, and they're busy. They're very busy, but they're not making money, right? They're not making money. They're not profitable, because when they did their costing, right, they didn't do it correctly. They didn't factor everything in. They didn't factor risks in, right? So you need to make sure, yes, you are profitable, and you need to make sure that you can sell your business. Because if you cannot sell, you cannot be an entrepreneur, and you cannot be in business, because we are selling every single day. We're not only selling for customers that want to buy from us, we're also selling to people that want to promote what we are doing. We want to bring investors in. We want to bring partners in to our business. Okay, so we're looking at a plan. Okay, so this is why we're here, guys. We're looking at a plan for 2023. Okay, so if currently, right, you only have one income stream. Now, let me be clear what an income stream is. An income stream is how money flows into your business. Okay, irrespective of what business it's how money flows, which means that if you're bringing income in through word of mouth, in other words, you're speaking to people that are speaking to people, and you're going and you're selling to these people, that is how money flows in, through word of mouth. If you're doing work for government, right, so the whole of government, and we're talking about City of Cape Town, Western Cape government, the central supplier database with over 4,000 municipalities, the City of Cape Town, 14.9 billion rands being spent every single year on small businesses. That is only the city. We're not even referring to other organizations, Department of Agriculture, Education Department, 4,500 schools. We're not referring to them. That's only the City of Cape Town. So the whole of government is one income stream. And guys, who spends more money than government? No one. No one spends more money than government. So you need to see it as an income stream, but that the whole of government, City of Joburg, all the municipalities, all of that is one stream. It is one stream. It is one stream, right? And you need to have at least 6. Yes, a minimum of 6, right? And this is why when we look at businesses that are struggling, that only gets their income from government, that is risky. It is risky. It is risky. Can you grow your business with one stream of income? It's because streams dry up. Yes, the stream, it dries up. It dries up. You get these times when it's a drought and there's no water, it's no stream, nothing is flowing. And this is how government works. Today you get a tender, tomorrow someone quotes 1 rand cheaper than you and he gets it. It's how it works. So you cannot build a business. You cannot build a business on one stream because you need to employ people. This is what we want, guys. This is what we want. We want you to employ people. We want you to build infrastructure, offices, equipment, machinery. If you go and you go to Sandton and you see those office space that is there, Century City, you go into town, you see these massive offices that people need to, businesses need to pay hundreds of thousands rands worth of rent. And you ask how? They're not able to do that with only one stream of income, right? And this is one of your jobs is to identify how to build those streams, right? And this is part of your strategy for 2023 to build the streams. It doesn't just come, right? So if you were to say, fine, what are we referring to? So if you guys are looking and thinking, okay, now what is the different types of streams? The whole of City of Cape Town, government, one stream. So hopefully you guys are all registered. Are you guys registered with government? Are you guys registered on CSD? Just give me a yes or a no. Give me a yes or a no, right? Because listen, we mentioned earlier, right? Government spends more money than anyone else. So are you guys registered? Let's just see. Let's see the chat box. Just put a yes or a no. Yes, yes, yes. Great. There's mostly yeses. That's excellent. Excellent, excellent. There is a few no's on CSD. Yes, some saying they're on CSD. They're not on the City of Cape Town, maybe. They're not on Western Cape Government. There's a few no's, but I'm glad it's mostly yeses. It's mostly yeses with a few no's. And let's say 20% no, 70%, roughly, it's looking at 70% yes. That's excellent. That's excellent. We don't know if you're getting contracts yet, but we're saying We're saying, and obviously we run this, the city runs tendering workshops, how to tender and all of those things free, fully online. And we'll share that with you as well. Everyone that has completed the register, we will share that information with you so that you can understand how to improve your chances of getting tenders, right? But you must remember, your job is to build multiple streams, right? And guys, it is very, very easy to get stuck in operations. I say stuck because this is what we're saying. You get stuck there. You get stuck there. Why? Because you need to put bread on the table. Right. You need to get, so when something comes up and you get an opportunity, you tend, and this is human nature, this is how it works, you tend to focus on that operations, on getting those things done, right? And what happens when you do that, you lose focus on building the other streams, right? And that is the problem. That is the problem. That's why you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan, right? And follow through with that plan, right? So if you were to say, fine, those of you that are registered, you built the stream, you're going to try and perfect it, right? You're going to try and understand how to improve your hit rate on tenders for government, right? You're going to do whatever courses that you need to do and access opportunities that is available to improve that. And then you're going to look at building the other streams, right? So if one dries up, you have another one. So ESD is a stream, very, very big stream, okay? So enterprise and supply development, and we've mentioned this before. Right? We're saying enterprise and supplier development is a stream of income because government has put the BEE codes there to say, if you want to do work with us as government, you need to be compliant on your BEE scorecard. You need to be a level 1 or a level 2 or level 3. Then you can work with us, right? And you must remember, big companies like Oceana Group, big companies like Sanlam and Pick and Pay and APSA, they cannot do without government contracts. It's worth billions for them. So they need to be compliant, which means 1% of their turnover is being spent on small businesses, 1% is being spent on suppliers. Those 2% comes to 37 billion rands every single year. I'm going to say it again, 37 billion rands being spent, right, every single year on small business. Is it money you must pay back? No, it's grant money. The purpose of the funding, right, is to be invested in your business for machinery, equipment, the contracts, whatever you need to grow your business for the purpose of creating jobs. This is really what it's about. This is a bottom line, guys. This is the bottom line. What is the purpose of all of these things? Is to create jobs, is to create growth within businesses. Can we understand how this whole ecosystem works? If there's an opportunity for growth, right, there is money for that. There is funding for that. There is opportunities for you, but the opportunity is there for growth. Can we understand? It's not there so you can make more money to buy yourself a new BMW or Mercedes-Benz. No, you can, but you need to employ people, right? That is the bottom line, which means this type of funding is for growth, which means that if you were to go to, let's say, Pick and Pay or Sanlam, for you to enter, right, that supply chain normally is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing for you to go and enter a corporate supply chain. And you must remember, corporates is where the money is. Government's great. And look, I work with government, so I know government is great. It pays bills, it covers costs, it keeps you busy, yes, right. But when you look at corporates, that is where the money is, right? Because your rates, whatever you're charging for your products or your services, If you're looking at corporates, it's 25%, roughly 25% more. So you're getting more, right? Your profitability is better looking at corporates, right? And also the relationships are better. For corporates, yes. For government, you compete, right, on cost and price and all of those things, but you're not guaranteed you're going to get those contracts again. Whereas corporates, you have a relationship there, right? You're going to be getting those contracts. If you can maintain those relationships and service delivery, you're going to keep on getting those contracts. Can we see it's a better investment? It's a better investment, right? So you need to understand how this works. So we're calling it an income stream. We're saying it's an income for you. Why? Because you're getting infrastructure, machinery and equipment is going to be paid into your business. You don't have to pay it back. Guys, you need to understand this. You don't have to pay it back. If you need equipment, you need a vehicle to deliver a service for a corporate company, they pay for the vehicle. If you need equipment to be able to deliver services, they're going to pay for the equipment, right? Remember that 37 billion need to be spent. The fact that you're providing a service, right, is a bonus. Can we understand how it works? Because remember, when you're in business, you are competing with other businesses. So if you're competing against another business that's getting all of these things for free, they don't have to pay for it. They don't have to pay for it, right? But you have to pay for it. Why? Because you are not accessing it, right? You are not accessing that support. You're not accessing that contracts, right, that you would never get before. You're not accessing it, right? And this is how we do it through ESD. So what do we need to do to get it? Right, we have this. Now, this is the key thing. So when we look at our plan of action, right, we're saying that's what we want, right? But we also need to know how we're going to get it. So this is what we need, right? Transformation managers. Those are the people in those organizations that sits with that budget that must be spent. That's the person in charge. Transformation managers. Those are the contacts that you want to connect with. Remember, we said connection. This is how you want to connect. So you want to connect with them. And to connect with them, you need to be able to share what it is that you do, not only where you are, but where you want to be. Okay, where you want to be. So that's very important. I'm a small business. I am here right now. I have 1 staff, I have 5 staff, I have 10 staff, but I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to have 50 staff, right? I want to have 50 staff. But all I need is, I just need a nice contract, right? And I just need a little bit of funding for machinery and equipment, for all these little things. And if I get all of these things, I can now employ some people and I can grow my business. Can we understand how this works? Can we understand? So that's how we're going to connect with transformation managers. And how do we connect with them? And that brings us to point number 5, social media. Social media, guys. When we look at the age that we are in, if you were to go, right, if you're in Cape Town and you were to go to Newlands, and you'll see there's Pick and Pay there, right, by Racecourse, or you would go to Oceania in town, or you would go to the Fashini Group here in Paro. If you're going to knock on their door and set up a meeting with the transformation managers there, it's going to take you a long time. It's going to take you maybe a year. Yes, and I'm not exaggerating. Maybe a year to set up a meeting, because they are big bosses, right? They are big bosses. They report to the owners of those organizations. It's a very high position. It's a very high position, right? So procurement sits under them, CSI sits under them, HR sits under them, right? So it's a very high position. So it's difficult. But on social media, on LinkedIn, guys, right? So a lot of you guys we've contacted, we managed to get hold of you on LinkedIn, right, through our ads, and you are here. So we know that a lot of you are on those platforms, but this is where you connect. And when do you connect? When do you connect? You know, And when we look at where we are now, approaching December, right? The silly season, they call it the silly season, right? That's the best time. Guys, that's the best time to market your business for 2023. You're going to make contact with those transformation managers on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Why? Because now they are more relaxed, right? During the year, tough, busy with operations, getting things done. They need to get things done. They have their plan. They need to implement why they want their bonuses. Yes, they're pushing for their bonuses. All these guys, all of this transformation, they get bonuses if they achieve their target. So they are pushing to get their projects done. But when it comes time to the end of the year, they're a little bit more relaxed. They're on social media, they're on LinkedIn, looking for businesses for next year that they can support. Because you must remember, it's 37 billion every single year. They're always looking for small businesses that want to grow, right? That want to deliver services to them as a corporate company. Can we understand how this works? So December, yeah, you guys are working. Yes, you guys are working. That's when you're going to work. You're going to work. You're going to connect at least 5 or 10 transformation managers. And remember how LinkedIn works. You can search people, and if you connected to someone, you can search their contacts. Okay, so if you want to move, you connect first with me. You can connect with me because I have over 17, I think it's 18,000 contacts. Every single transformation manager in the country is connected with us, with me. Why? Because we do impact assessments. We do the impact assessments for their programs and initiatives. That's our core service as a foundation. Okay, and as a result, we are connected with them, and it's taken us 12 years to connect. Yes, every day, 12 years is to connect. You access it if you connect with me. So remember Khalid Smith, H-A-L-L-I-D Smith, right? You can access all my contacts for free, right? But remember, I'm going to look at your profile first, because remember, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the social media platforms, it allows you to paint a picture of your business. Listen, what we're saying, it allows you to paint a picture of your business, right? You can paint any picture you want. But here's the thing, right? And this is the key thing. When you are on those platforms, you're not going to paint a picture of where you are now, right? Listen, what we're saying is you're going to paint a picture of where you want to be in 10 years from now. That picture you painting now. Are we clear? So what we're saying is you're going to paint a picture, not where you are now, where you want to be in 10 years. That's the picture you're going to paint now. Okay, so this is why we're saying part of your strategy for next year is to paint that picture, right? So it is Friday. It is a great day. You have a weekend coming. You can take that time and you can paint the picture in your mind of where you want to be. And once you've done that, you're going to go on your platforms and you're going to paint the picture there on your platforms, right? So when I look at your picture and your profile on LinkedIn, right, what do I want to see? Do I want to see someone in the shorts on the beach? No, I want to see a professional businessman, right, that I want to do business with. Yeah, I want to see a successful entrepreneur. That's what I want to see. I want to see someone that is not happy where they are, that want to move. They want to move very, very fast, right? I want to move. I want that big contract, right? Because guys, let's face it. If I am selling this, I'm selling this, and I'm going to go to one person and say, do you want this? And they say, yes, great. Yeah, you can give me the money. I will give you this. It costs X amount, right? And I'm going to go to another person. Do you want it? It's going to take a very, very long time to sell. You want that contract. You want that big contract, right? So you can grow your business. I will supply, let me supply 100,000 of this over a period of 1 year. Give me that contract, rather. That is what I want. That is what I want. Edward, you have a question. Go for it, Edward. You have a question, Edward? I see your hand is up. Go for it. I know I talk very fast, but if you have a question, you can either type it in the box. You can type it in the chat box. Can we have the main screen, please? Can we see this? Naeem, can you see my screen? The income stream and time. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, great. Let me just see if there's any questions. I don't have a chance always to go through all the questions, but you can either, if you have a question, you can ask a question, or you can type your question in the chat box. You can type it in the chat box. Oh, okay, great. Okay. Also, just a reminder for those of you, because I see that there's some that's joined now. If you've just joined us, I'm going to share this PowerPoint presentation with you. Okay, I'm going to share the PowerPoint presentation with you, right? Please complete the register. Naeem is going to share it again, and Sipiu will share it as well. Okay, if you're having a problem registering on the attendance register, please put your email address and Sipiu will email it to you to complete. Remember, once you've completed it, we will share this PowerPoint presentation with you, and we'll also share, there's the link, it's just attached now, thank you. Can you please send to Edward the link, please? Otherwise, you can try and copy it. If you cannot click on it, you can copy it, paste it into your browser, and you should be able to click on it. Otherwise, it will be emailed to you, and then you can please complete it so that we can send you this PowerPoint. And also, we're going to record the session. So I know that some of you might need to leave if there's load shedding. Not to worry. Even if you're having load shedding, we're going to record, the session is recorded. So we'll send you the full recording of the session. We'll also send you the PowerPoint, and we also share with you your certificates, right? And any information we will email to you. Okay, so you're not going to miss anything. To register with the City of Cape, I see there's a mention, Benita, we struggle. We have a separate workshop called How to Do Business with the City, where we actually go through that. We had the last one 2 weeks ago with the city, but we're going to send the register, the schedule for the full year 2023 to everyone that's here today. So everyone that's here, right, that is registered, we're going to send you for 2023, and it's every single month, guys, every single month on Zoom. Not only is it on Zoom every single month, How to Do Business with the City, where we go through the registration process, right? We're going to cover costing and pricing fully online, how to do your costing and pricing. We finished. This is the last workshop for the year, unfortunately. So, but next year, we will share you the whole schedule for the full year. You can pick which one you want to go on, right? The tendering workshops as well, the networking sessions for the whole year that we have at the City of Cape Town, where we're there to help. So there's lots and lots of support and assistance for you to be able to register and start doing work for the city. And remember, we mentioned this before, there is no better time to be doing work for the city on tenders. Why? Because this is how government works, right? The whole year, right? They sit with the budget, right? And when it comes time, you know, just before December, November, they realize that their budget now needs to be spent. And remember, nothing happens in December, nothing happens in January, right? So now they need to put out RFQs. And now a lot of RFQs goes out during this time. Costing is also higher. Yes, costing is higher during this time of the year. You can charge more. Why? Because everyone is busy, right? Everyone is busy this time of the year. There's a lot of work that is going out because budgets needs to be spent. And if budgets are not spent in government, that is bad. It's different to corporates, right? Government, right? If your budget is spent, your job is done. If it's not spent, I haven't done what I'm supposed to do. And next year, your budget gets cut. Yeah, if you couldn't spend it, we're not giving it to you again. This is how it works in government, right? And this is why you need to be competing and you need to be there. And we will share that if you haven't registered. Naeem and CPU, please let me know how many has completed the attendance register so that I have an indication, and how many still needs to complete. Right, and you can just keep completing. Are there any soap suppliers urgently? Good, there we go. So look, we're gonna share details, and this is why if you have your contact details over there, we're here to network with each other as well. Obviously, there's a lot of participants here from different areas, and there is solutions, and we're here to collaborate with one another and form partnerships with one another as well. Collaboration is very, very important. It's actually point number 2 on the slide that we're covering. Collaboration, right? And let me explain to you what this means, right? And very, very important for you guys. And we say it's an income stream. We say it's an income stream to collaborate because, and it costs nothing to collaborate, right? So let me explain what collaboration means. If I firstly am in the same industry, so I'm in construction, right? I'm in construction, right? And I want to partner with another construction company. Why? Because I want a bigger tender. Remember, we're saying you want a partner. You want a partner. So if you're in Cape Town and you partner with a construction company in Durban, you partner with a construction company in PE in Johannesburg, and you say, you know what, I'm in Cape Town. I'm in Cape Town. I do construction work here, right? But I don't do in the other provinces. Are you willing to partner with me so that if I get a national contract, you can deliver services for me? Listen to the wording. Listen to the word. Listen. We're saying, if I get a national contract, will you be able to do services in your province for me? It's a simple question. It's a simple question, right? Who says no to work? Guys, who says no? Who says no to work? No one says no to work. You're going to give me work, I'm going to say, yes, give me work. Why not? Right? So if you have agreements like that, which costs you nothing, it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to form an agreement with companies in your industry, right? If you are in cleaning services, form a partnership with the companies in cleaning services. And I don't know why big companies are willing to do it, but not smaller companies, right? I don't know why that is, because the thing is, it's who gets the contracts that's important. It's getting the contracts that is important. And the only way to get it is to build capacity. Guys, you need to understand this. Micro companies don't get big contracts. Big companies gets big contracts. So to get big, this is how you do it. I'm telling you now how to do it. You're going to form a partnership with a company in Joburg, Durban, and you're going to form an SLA, a signed agreement, signed agreement. It's not verbal. If I get work, you're going to do it for me in that province. Because what will happen once you have those agreements? Immediately, you are now a national organization. You're a national company. Guys, you are now national. You can deliver services nationally. You're a national company. And this is what did it cost you? Did you have to go and build offices in Durban and Joburg? No. Did you have to build offices in PE? No, you don't have to build it. You have an SLA where the company is going to do it there for you, but now you're national. Can we understand how to paint the picture? You're big now. You're big. You can you can get the big contracts. And listen, guys that are in industry, you guys know, if you're in your industry, you understand your industry. If I were to come right now and give you a 10 million rand contract, I'll give you a 10 million rand contract right now. Is it a problem to build capacity and get it done? No, it's never, look, it's never a problem to build capacity. If you're sitting with a contract, you can get people to do it just like that. It's never a problem building capacity. It's getting the contracts. That is the challenge. That's the problem, is getting the contracts. But you don't get contracts if you micro. You only get contracts if you're big. And this is how you build your capacity without costing you money. All it takes is time. It takes time forming partnerships, sharing with other organizations and coming together, because this is why Bidvest gets the big contracts. Why? Why do you think Bidvest gets the big contracts? Right? Muller and Steele, all these big companies, Murray and Roberts, they get the big contracts. Why do they get the big contracts? Because they are big. Guys, because they have capacity to deliver services. Can we understand how it works? And the reason why they get the contracts, it's easier for, if you're a big company, a corporate company, instead of giving a contract to 20 companies, it's easier to give it to one. It's just less work, right? Can we understand how it works? So if I'm national, I am Sanlam, I have offices all over, right? I'm Pick n Pay, I have offices all over, right? There's retailers all over this country, right? That needs cleaning services. I would rather go to Bidvest cleaning. Why? Because they can clean wherever my offices is. It's easier than appointing 50 companies to clean one. It's just more work. So it is easier to get contracts if you are bigger, but you need to build capacity. And this is how we do it. Can we understand how it works? Can we understand how it works? Okay. So number 6, referral. Number 6, referral. And I know we're moving fast, guys, because it's Friday and we want to get done. And this is why we're moving very, very fast. I hope I'm not moving too fast. Am I moving okay? If you're happy with, or must I slow down a bit? Are you fine? Are you fine? Are we fine with the speed? It's fine. It's fine. Okay, great. Najli says it's fine. Okay, great. Everyone says it's fine. Heidi says it's fine. If Heidi says it's fine, then it's fine. Okay, so we are moving. We're moving. Okay, so this is, let me explain what referral is. Referral. Now, remember, when people buy from you, right? When people buy, any corporate company that buy, remember, we are targeting big contracts. This is what we want. This is what we want. We want a big contract. 2 or 3 big contracts, anchor contracts. That's what we want to grow our business. We need an anchor contract. That's our target as a small business. We want the anchor contract. Give me this, give me an anchor contract. It's going to cover all my bills. I don't have to stress month to month. I have a contract for a year, 2 years. That's what I want, right? So how do I get that? How do I get that? Because in order for you to get that contract, remember, the buyer, the procurement department, they need to trust you. They need to trust you, right? They need to trust you. But it's difficult. It's difficult for them to be able to trust you if you're small, right? So remember, it takes time to build trust with a corporate company. This is how it works. It's different to government, right? Government, you do a tender online, they don't even see you. They're just looking at a piece of paper and you can get it. But corporate is different, right? They want to understand. They need to build a trust relationship with you. So if you want that, there's only two ways to do it. You can either build the trust yourself, right? Start nurturing the relationship, or you leverage of someone else's relationship. And this is how the referral works. So let's say you partner with a company that's not in construction. They are in, let's say, designing. Let's say they supply chairs. That's all they do. They don't do construction. They just make chairs. They make office furniture. They supply stationery. They do whatever, but it's not construction. You in construction, right? But they have a corporate client already. They have a relationship. They're already supplying them for years, for years. Can we understand? So you're going to form a partnership with them. You're going to form a partnership with them and say, you know what? You have this client, you do chairs, I do construction. Please connect me with your client, with your client that you have that relationship with, right? But this is the key thing, right? You're gonna give them, listen, you're gonna give them 5% of whatever you earn through that client forever. You listen. If you want to build a connection with someone, remember we said when you connect with someone, right? You have that person pushing for you. You have that person pushing for you, but that person needs to benefit from the relationship. I'm going to say it again. The person needs to benefit from the relationship, your relationship. Right? They need to be, and this is how they benefit. I'm going to give you 5%, and it's not verbal. No, it is agreement written on paper in black and white. It is signed. You sign. It is there. It's in black and white. You have it. You know what? I'm going to give you 5%. I'm going to, whatever I earn, if I earn R1 million this year, next year I earn another million, I'm giving you 5%. Right? Without a doubt, you're getting 5%. Why? I want you to benefit from it. Why? Because you are going to open doors for me. It's effectively like if you have 5 of these agreements, and remember, this is part of your target you're going to have. You're going to put this as a target that I want for 2023. Yes. Remember, if you don't have a target, right, what is the chances of you getting it? You understand? And this is why we sit. This is why we're here today. We want to put targets on things you want for 2023. And you say, look, I want 5 agreements, right? But next year I want 5 agreements. Why? Because it's like having 5 sales managers working for you for free. We say free because you're only going to pay them when they get you a contract. Yes. If they don't get you a contract, you don't pay them every month. No. If you bring me a contract that's worth 1 million, I'm going to give you 5 million. But if you don't give me a contract, I'm not paying you every month. So it's like having 5 sales managers working for you. Because guys, let's be honest. If it is only you pushing for you, guys, that's tiring. Listen, that is tiring. It's only you. It's only you. If you stop right now, nothing happens. Right? If you stop right now, you decide I'm going to go on holiday, right? Great, for a month. What happens if nothing happens? It's only you pushing for you. That is tough because it's tiring doing all of these things. We're going through. Remember, we're only touching the tip of the iceberg. Remember, we're only touching the tip of the iceberg on the thing. That stream of 6 that we say there, it doesn't stop at 6. It goes up to 20. It never stops. It never stops. It is a lot of work to do by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. You need to get people pushing for you, and you need to form agreements so they benefit. Because let me tell you, the very first, when we look at the work that we do, most of the work that we're doing now comes to us through partnerships like referral agreements. It comes to us without our effort. Without our effort. I don't have to go and sell something. It comes to us. It comes to us. And those are the agreements that you need to form now. You form it. You form those agreements that people benefit. I give you. Look, what is 5%? Guys, 5% is nothing. It's less than marketing cost. 5% is nothing. It costs you more than 5% to market your business. So 5% is nothing to give, right? But you have people pushing for you. And this is what you need to create. You create that within your business. You create it within your business. Okay. So please, guys, this is what you're going to do. You're going to ask yourself these questions. Remember, we're here to do a plan for 2023. and we're not here to sugarcoat things for you. We're here to deal with the real issues. So this is the questions you're going to ask yourself. How do you plan to generate 2023? We've gone through just a few ideas. But the key thing is that you need to decide. You need to decide what it is that you want in your business, right? Of those streams, which is the ones that you're going to build? Are you going to build all of them, right? Because remember, you can't get stuck in operations. You have to build all the streams, no matter what, right? So if you're putting it on your plan, you're going to decide now, you're going to put it on, let's say, 5 stream, 2023, by the end of 2023, I want to have at least 4 or 5 streams built, right? I want it built, right? You're going to have that in your plan, and you're going to have steps on things that you want to do to get it done. If you don't plan, if you're not planning it, and if you're not measuring it, nothing happens. Guys, I'm going to say it again. If you don't plan to grow, there is no growth. It's just the bottom line, because the thing is, time moves by so fast. Listen, it was now Christmas, now it's almost Christmas again. It's just the years just flow by. Yes, it's crazy. The time is just flying. It's literally flying so quickly. So if you are not planning growth, 5 years from now, you're exactly the same spot. You're exactly the same spot. So when we look at businesses, you know, and some of them is operating for 10, 15 years, and we say, well, we're more or less the same. We're doing the same things, you know. We haven't really moved in 10, 15 years. You're not going to move in 10, 15 years if you're not planning to do things differently. It needs to be a very, very clear plan, targeting, and you need to measure it, right? So what do you need to do every single day? You need to put down the tasks that you're doing every single day. And if you're not measuring it, checking it to make sure that it gets done, it doesn't happen, right? Someone needs to focus on it, and that needs to be your job. If you're the director, this is your job, right? This is your job. And if no one is doing this, so this is why I say you don't want to get stuck in operations. You don't want to get stuck there, because if you're busy with operations, you're in the engine room, right? Who is steering the ship? And I use that analogy a lot. It's easy for people to understand. You're in the engine room, not in the deck, steering the ship. This is what we're saying by steering the ship. You need to steer the ship. You cannot be stuck. You can rather get someone to do that and that and that. You pay them. I'll pay you to do that. Why? I'm happy to pay you to do all of these things, because I need to do this. Because if you do this, you are going to grow exponentially. Can we understand what I'm saying? You're going to grow exponentially, which will allow you to pay whoever you need to pay to be able to do this. And then this is what it boils down to. Okay, what performance systems have you put in place? Okay, remember we're saying you need to put a system in place that tracks, right, and that allows you to hold yourself accountable and your staff. If there's no accountability, in other words, if I planned and I said, you know what, I would like to be on an ESD program through a corporate company. I would like to get a contract, because remember, you're getting infrastructure and they're going to pay for it. And I would like to get a nice 2-year contract, you know, as part of an ESD initiative. If you say that's what you want, but you're not willing to do what you need to do to get it, it's useless. You understand? Because when I speak to business and I say, you know what, this was my plan, I was planning to do this, and then, okay, great. What did you do yesterday? This is simple. If you're planning to get that, you want that as a target, that is your goal, but I want to know what you did this week. Show me what you did this last week. Show me where your time went. How many transformation managers did you connect with? How many transformation managers did you contact? Okay, how many times did you phone them? How many times did you call them? Right? Show me what you've done last week. Show me what you've done yesterday. That's it. Show me what. If you can't, if you tell me, well, I haven't done anything yesterday, well, then obviously you don't want it, or you don't want it enough. You don't want it enough. This is the bottom line, because I want to know what you have done. Okay, what can prevent me from achieving it? You need to have a plan. Listen, if you guys are entrepreneurs, right? If you guys are entrepreneurs, things are never going to go according to plan, right? But you need to have that attitude that, you know, no matter what happens, I'm going to move. I'm going to move. I'm not going to let it keep me back, right? So you need to identify, yes, load shedding is a challenge. Yes, this is a challenge. Yes, all of these things are issues, right? But if you understand what the risks is, right, it makes it easier for you to deal with it, right? Very, very important. And we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break in a short while. Okay. What drives you, right? And this is the thing, because when we look at everything that you need to do, we're planning 2023, a lot of things needs to get done. All of these things, I need to focus on all these things now. Great. It's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of work. Remember, we work with companies. We work with companies that grows, that times 10, you know, that starts their business, and in 2 years, they're doing 100 million. And us now, how is that possible for companies to move that fast? You know what I'm saying? They invest every single second, they have. They're investing it. They're not wasting any time. 7 days a week, they are investing day and night in what they need to do, and they have a very, very clear plan on what they need to do. And if they can't do it themselves, they're willing to bring people in and take a risk to bring people in and get those things done, right? They're willing to do it. And if they do it, they move very, very fast. But that drive, and this is something which is very important, and it's difficult. It's difficult because we have this challenge, you know. People don't have the drive. If they don't have the drive, there's nothing that we can do. And remember, when you speak, you know, to transformation managers, they want to meet with you. They want to meet with you. And you know what they want more than anything? When you speak, let's say Mashinga, Pick and Pay, head of Pick and Pay transformation, Nairai, the Vashini group, and I mentioned all these transformation managers, loads and loads of transformation managers. When you speak to them, the first thing they want, right, besides your business, besides what it is that you do, they want to understand if you are a driven individual. Why? Driven. You're motivated and you want to move. If they know you have that, right, they're going to bet on you. They're going to bet on you, because remember, you need to understand what transformation does. They effectively take contracts away from Bidvest and give it to you. Yes, because there's no new contracts. It's existing contracts, which means if you want an existing contract, you need to take it away from someone that already has it. They're going to take that contract and give it to you. They're not going to take a chance on you. No. But if they know, you know what, this person is a mover. This is an entrepreneur. This person is hungry, wants it. You understand? They're going to bet on you if they see that. And it's very, very, very important. So what we do is, what I want you guys to do, right? I want you just to think about, number 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Firstly, and I want you to know what it is in that order. What is the most important thing for me, right? For you, and it could be different things. I mean, we're all different, we're all unique, but you need to know what that number 1 is, what number 2 is, and what number 3 is. And write it down. Guys, the reason why you want to write things down is because when you write it down, it's real, okay? It's not in your head. It's not in your head. You don't want to keep things in your head. You want to write it down. You want to write it down what number 1 is, what number 2 is, and what number 3 is. The 3 most important things to you in your life. You need to know what it is, because we get this. Listen, all the time. We work with companies, and remember, we run turnaround. We've mentored over 5,000 businesses already. And one of the things we get very often, the business directors, man, is that, you know, the owners, they come to us and say, you know what, how do we motivate our staff? How do we get them to move? I want to move, right? But, you know, everyone else that I'm working with, they don't want to move. How do I get them to move? And our response is always the same. You cannot motivate someone unless you know what drives them. What drives them? Why do they get up in the morning, right? What is that number one? And it's different for everyone. It could be money. It could be success, right? It could be religion and guidance, you know? It could be spiritual, right? It could be anything, but you don't know what that is. You don't know what that is. And I'll give you a simple example. Now we're busy, we're doing a workshop, right? We're doing a workshop in the waterfront for directors, right? This was very long time ago. It was very long time ago. We're doing the workshop for directors, one of the first few workshops that I did, right? Very nervous in the workshop, you know, I'm assisting, and we have these directors, right? So we do an activity. We have a hypnotist there, very, very good. What he does is he hypnotizes the participants. They're led to believe that they have 1 year left. And after that 1 year, they're going to die. Okay, so now they're led to believe they have this disease and they are going to die, and their time will be over. Right? And they now need to write down what they're going to do with this 1 year. Because remember, you only have 1 year now. So now this is what happens. Now they write down on a piece of paper what you're going to do with your 1 year. You have 1 year, guys. This is how it works. You have 1 year and it's over. Now they write down. They list, okay, great. Everyone has their list. I'm going to do this. I only have a year left now. Remember, they believe it. Remember, you believe this now. Remember, you believe this now. This is happening. This is happening for real for you, right? So this is how it happens. So, okay, great. Now we do the workshop. We carry on, you know, and then the workshop carries on. And during the end of the workshop, right, they're still sitting with a piece of papers. Right, and then we do another activity later on towards the end of the workshop. But now it's a little bit more, it's different. The workshop is different now. Now the hypnotist comes in and now they're in an airplane, sound effects, everything. It's now sound effects comes on. This plane is going down now. This plane is going down. Listen, so now we're doing this. The plane is going down. Everyone believe it. You literally have 10 minutes. 10 minutes, you have 10 minutes and your life is over. What you're going to do with the 10 minutes? Listen, what you're going to do. You only have 10 minutes. You need to write it down. You need to write it down, right? This is what you're going to do. You're going to write it down, what you're going to do with your 10 minutes. So this is why I say, when you ask yourself the question, what is the thing that drives me? What is the thing that is the most important to me? You need to know what that is, right? And we do this activity. Now they write it down. Now you need to understand how this works. Now you have guys. You have guys crying now. Remember, because this is now real for them. This is happening. They write it down. Snot en trane. It's over now. They write it down. Okay, great. They write it down. Right? Now they snap out of it. We go through the different pages. They're going through the different. Now we see that. Now we wake up. Now they're seeing, okay, great. But now they have 2 pages, but it's different. The 2 pages is different. Right? The one has a whole lot of things on it. Right? After 1 year, I have 1 year, so it has a whole lot of things. This other one, right, it only has one. It's a very short page, because now remember, you're getting to the things that's really important, because now you only have 10 minutes, right? Jacques, I don't know if do you have a question? I see your hand was up earlier. I don't always see the hands, but if you have a question. So this is what happened now. now you see the difference. Now you see the difference. I have 10 minutes left. This is what's really important to me. So that's why I say you have the weekend coming up. Take some time, go to the beach, and you need to figure out what that is. Really, unfortunately, no one can help you with that, right? But once you figured that out, it's the most important thing for you, because that, when you look at everything that needs to happen, that's the thing that is going to keep you moving, that is going to keep you pushing, and it's going to make sure that you're getting those things done, right? That is going to getting those things done. So that's an activity. Yes, you have homework. I'm sorry, guys, you have homework. Yes, for the weekend. I'm giving everyone homework. This is your homework. You're gonna take some time for yourself. Go to the beach. And you're gonna figure out 1, 2, and 3 what it is. What is it? Number one. What is the thing that drives you? Whatever that is, you're gonna write it down. Then you're gonna have a plan. Once you have that, it makes it a whole lot easier. Once you've asked these questions, it's just 5 questions, guys. You can do it in a weekend. It's 5 questions. If you're honest with yourself, you can do it in a weekend. You can do it in this weekend. Let's not say a weekend. Let's say I'm gonna do it this weekend, right? Put a time on it. Because listen, if you don't put a time frame on anything, it doesn't happen. It's just like another year goes by and it doesn't happen. You put a time frame, is that I'm going to do it this weekend, not I'm going to do it one weekend or some weekend, because that just never happens. That just never happens. Okay, so you're going to do that. And the reason why you're going to do it, once you have those 5 questions, you answer the 5 questions, you're going to put you're going to put it down on paper. Yes, you have to put it down on paper. So these KPIs, those are your streams. The streams that you're going to build in 2023, right? That's your plan of action. You're going to put it down on a page, nice and big. You can go to Walton's, or you can go to CNA. You buy a nice A2 size, a big, or A1 page, nice and big, right? You're going to buy that, right? A board, a nice A4 size board. You're going to stick it up. You're going to do this diagram, right? On things that you're going to do, you're going to put your streams on it, right? Very nice. You're going to put your streams. You can have 4, you can have 5, you can have 6, you can have 2. You decide what you're taking on. But when it goes on here, this is the thing. If it goes on the plan, it's non-negotiable, right? If it goes on the plan, it's non-negotiable. It has to be done. This is the bottom line. So you don't put anything on here, on this plan, unless you want it done no matter what, right? So this is why. So you put it, once it goes on here, it's done. No matter what happens, you're gonna do what you need to do. So you're gonna put your KPIs there, or you can say your streams, whatever it is that you want to build, and you're gonna break it down into smaller tasks, right? So it's simple. So if your task is to get a contract to get on an ESD program through Santam or Sanlam, what do I need to do that? I need to contact so many transformation managers. I need to perfect my LinkedIn profile. I need to make sure I have the proper pics, high definition, quality pics, right, on the projects that I'm involved with. I need pictures. If I can't do it, if I can't do things, I'm going to get someone to do it. Can we all do everything perfectly? No. Not everyone is good with finance. Not everyone is good with graphics. Not everyone is good with all those things. But if I want it done, I'm going to get the person to do it for me. So I don't need to do it myself, but I'm going to make sure that someone is doing it, and it's going to be done to a certain degree, to a certain level and standard. I'm going to put it on my chart, every single task. Yes. And it can take you a day or 2 to do this. Guys, it's not going to take you a long time. It's not going to take you a long time to do it. Okay. So you're going to put it down, every single task. And the reason why you want to break down the tasks into small little tasks, right? Because you want to cross it off. It's nice. Listen, if you have it on a chart, you have it on a chart in your bedroom, or if you have an office at home, or you have an office that you're going to, and you have a chart up there, and you go to the chart and you cross off one little block. You know, it makes it, because if you look at everything, it's quite daunting. It's a lot of work. It looks like, oh my word, it's so much things I need to do. But at least if you're able to block and cross off one little block, one block, you know what? I've registered on CSD. You know what? I've registered on the City of Cape Town. I'm doing my first tender, you know, online. You know what? I've done this. I've registered. I have one partnership, you know. I've got one possible partnership. I can click off, I can tick off one little box. You can take a little breather and say, you know what? I'm moving. I'm moving. And if you do it one little block at a time, before you know it, you've ticked off all the tasks. And you've built a stream, and there's money coming in. Right, there's money coming in, and you're reaching your targets, and you are moving, and then you're going to carry on, and you're going to build another 6. This is how it goes. It never ends, because it's growth. It's growth. You're just moving from one target to the next. So if your target is 1 million, right, you're going to move to the next, right? But you need to have a target. You need to have a target, whatever it is, right? And I want you guys to share. Your targets. What is your targets? And you know, guys, people want to be realistic. I want to be realistic. People are too realistic. You know, when they put a target on what they want to achieve, but how? You know what? How am I going to achieve it? So, guys, give me a target. 3 to 5 years from now, what do you want to earn in your business? What do you want to earn 3 to 5 years from now? What do you want to earn in your business? Turnover per annum. What do you want your turnover to be per annum? 3 to 5 years from now. Put it down in the chat box. Don't be shy. Don't be realistic either. You know, people say, when you're realistic, right, you get stuck on the how. But if you started building income streams, right, no matter what those targets is, all that changes when you have a figure, right, is the level of what you're doing in those boxes. And I'm going to say it again. If you have a target of 1 million, a target of 10 million, or the target of 50 million or 100 million, what changes is the level of whatever it is that you're doing. So what's okay for 1 million is not okay for 10 million. It's just the game that you're playing that changes. Can we understand how it works? It's the game changes. Depending on what that figure is. So guys, I want the figure. In the chat box, please. I need a figure. Angelo. Okay, Angelo, 1 billion. It doesn't matter. It's a figure. 39 million, Edwina. Diane, 30 to 50, not 30 to, put 30 or 50, right? Be precise. You want a figure that you need that figure, and you need to be clear. 10 million. Lubisi, 10 million. Okay. 5 million. Nafisa, 25 million. Okay, Samson, 15. Melanie Hendricks, I like it. 48 million. It's precise. I like it, right? Precise. 25. Andrew Boswell, 25 million. 10.5 million. Lucretia, right? Wonderful. Those are figures. I love it. 200 million. 2 million. Okay. Amazing. Angelo, 50 trillion. What does it matter? Listen, guys. I need to be honest. When we look at the figures, right? Here's the thing. Whatever figure it is, it doesn't matter the figure, right? And we work with companies, many companies before that started out, right? With a figure of 1 million, right? One of the companies, a small little store. He had a small little store, right? And he put his figure there. You know what? I don't know. 1 million seems far. So 1 million seems far. When you're doing 200,000, 1 million seems far away. It seems far away. It seems distant. It's distant. I don't know how I'm going to get it. Put the figure of 1 million. He said, you know what? This is what I want. Did it. Did it. Put the 1 million there, right? Couldn't do it. Didn't know how to do it because he needed to get his products into the stores, and he had to get someone on. He said, you know what? He came to bring people on board. Said, come, can you get me here? This is my plan. I don't know exactly how to do it. I don't have the skill to do it, but this is what I need. I want to be there. Put his figure 1 million. Got it. Got the 1 million. Moved from 1 million, 10 million. In less than a year, 10 million. 10 million went to 50 million. This is a company we work with, right? You guys might know the company, Spice Maker. You see Spice Maker on the shelves. Yes. Put it 10 million. Yes. Got 10 million. Then 50 million. Got 50 million. Right? Then today, listen to the JSE. 300 million. What's his next target? 1 billion. Does it make it easy going to get 1 billion? Of course he's going to get 1 billion. He's exporting. He's not worried with Pick n Pay and ShopRite anymore. He's exporting into Africa, getting paid dollars. So can we understand how this works? The figure, right, is one thing, having the figure. The second thing is there need to be belief, right? Whatever that figure is, you need to believe, right, that if I do these things, I'm going to get it. That's a simple, it doesn't matter what it is. You need to believe I'm going to get it because we have seen it before. We've seen it over and over and over again. We have seen it. We have seen it. Remember, we've gone through the process and we've gone through the journey with businesses. And let me tell you, there has never been more opportunities for growth for small businesses than what there is right now in this country. Yes, there's never been more funding for businesses. There's never been opportunities. When we look at transformation for corporates, it's never been like that. Where do you get a fast track? Companies paying for equipment, machinery, and giving you 2 to 3 year contracts that you will never get. Where do you get that? Funding. You can get funding right now. When we look at the amount of funding organizations that is there to fund you, right? If you get an order from the city right now, you can get 80% up front without putting your house on the line. Yes, when you look at funding that's available, even through the banks, Old Mutual has a 350 million rand fund. ABSA has a 300 million rand fund that is there that you can access as small businesses. Can access as small businesses without surety as part of enterprise and supplier development. Where do you get that? Where do you get that? So you can go right now, even if you look at funding, 80 funding organizations. You can go right now on Wesgrow, right? CPU, you can just please put the link for wesgrow.co.za, right? You can put the link there for participants can go on. You can go and you can apply. Remember, you don't just get funding. Funding has a purpose. You need to have funding for a purpose. It's for machinery, it's for growth, it's for contracting. Whatever the case may be, you're going to put what the funding is for. If you go onto the Wesgrow, 80 organizations that will give you funding, some part funding, some CFA funding, that is the cheapest funding that you can get, some is grant funding, but I mean, you can access it. It's going to give you a list once you've completed it, right? You're going to go through the process. They're going to look at which industries you're in, how you're operating, where your business, and it's going to give you criteria. It's going through the criteria and it's going to kick out those that you qualify for out of the 80 funders. And it's going to say, here's 20 organizations that you can apply for funding right now. There's never been so much organization. So there's so much opportunities for you guys. This is why I'm saying there is no excuses. There really, and we've seen businesses that has benefited from ESD, that has gone into supply chains, that is now supplying Pick n Pay. Remember, ISO compliant, you need to be ISO compliant if you want to supply Pick n Pay. They pay for it. You need to understand how this works. They will make sure you have equipment, machinery, factories. They are going to pay for it for you and make sure you are compliant. We've seen companies, small businesses with one staff that is now sitting with 50, 60 staff, doing 100 million in turnover. And this is why I'm saying, Yes, they put the figure there, but also they were willing to do what they needed to do. But most importantly, this is the most important thing, they believed they could achieve it. I'm going to say it again. If you put a figure there, no matter what the figure is, and you don't believe it, you're not going to do what you need to do to get it. Are we clear? So I don't care what figure you put. I don't care what figure you put there. You need to believe that you're going to get it. Okay? Because it's simple. If I were to give you a million rands right now, and I'm going to say, fine, I'm going to give you here it is. Here's a million. You can see it. You can see the million rands. And I say, in order for you, I'm going to give it to you. All you need to do is climb this building. You need to climb this building, right? If you climb it and you get to the top, I'm going to give it to you. Right? It's going to be tough. It's going to be difficult to climb it. But I know if I climb it, I see it there. There's the million rands, and I'm going to give it to you if you climb it. Most of you will say, you know what? If I need to do it, no matter what I need to do, no matter what's going to happen to me, if I'm going to get hurt or whatever, I'm going to do whatever I need to do because I believe that I'm going to get it because there it is right there in front of me. I can see it. And so what has changed? What has changed? The only thing that changes is belief. That's it. It's something in your mind that you believe and that you can control. You can control. You can control it. If you believe it or not, it's something that you can control. So this is why we're saying you put the figure there, right? You put the figure there, whatever it is. This chart, you're going to put the figure on the chart. Remember, you're going to draw this, you're going to put out all your KPIs over there, and you're going to put your figure nice and big. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You guys all have your figures over there. Don't be shy. You put your figures there. Right, you put the figures there. Can you splash the link? See, Piwu, if you're there, can you please supply the link in the chat box for Westgrow? Westgrow.co.za. That's the website. If you go on the website, you'll see FinFind on the website, right? But guys, the people's always, when you look at funding, right? People say we run turnaround for SEFA, Small Enterprise Financial Agency. The cheapest funding that you get, they will fund machinery, equipment. If you get contracts, they're happy to assist and fund, right? A lot of the companies, they get contracts, right? They take out finance, 2-3 million rands. They're not ready for finance. If you're not ready for finance, don't access finance. Don't access finance, right? You need to make sure, you guys, that you are ready for it, okay? And you try and wait as long as possible before you go and access funding. Look at the lean start. Lean start, the best way. Come and say, yeah, but I need money to start. No, but I need money. I need money to start. I want to start, but I need money. No. Who says? Who says you need money to? Who says you need money to start? If you have a contract, you know the best way to bring cash flow in is to get a contract. Yes, now you can, because now you have a contract. Now you're making money. You're bringing money into your business because now it's that type of funding is easy to get. It's easy to get funding if you have a contract. If you don't have a contract, it's very difficult to get funding. You understand? Very difficult. So my easiest, you want money, you need funding, get a contract. Get a contract, make the money, right? Now you can deliver and you make money off those contracts. So that's the easiest way to get funding, is to get contracts. Okay, so we are moving on. Your growth plan. It's a plan of action, right? So I'm happy to send everyone a sample plan in Word. I can share everyone a sample plan in Word that you can go through. You can populate during the holidays. Sit and take a little bit of time to think about this. You need to think about it, because remember, if you're competing with other businesses, right, you need to look at what separates you from those businesses. And this is where your plan comes in. You know, it's in construction, you're all offering the same thing. What is going to separate you? And remember, businesses are competitive. There are big companies competing for small contracts. I was speaking to one of the other consultants that we work with now the other day. He's saying, you know what, you don't know what is happening. You know, that, you know, there's big companies competing with small tenders like 100,000. It's like, what is a big companies never used to worry with smaller contracts. It was like a waste of their time. Now there's big blue chip companies, you know, competing on small little contracts that they used to get before. Now they're competing with big companies. You know, the competition, guys, competition is when you look at the competition with smaller businesses now, it is next level. So you need to look at these things. You need to look at what separates you from other businesses. And remember, very, very important in building your plans. All of these things you're going to sit down with, and you're going to, this is the time to do it, right? This is the time to do it. You cannot be, and even if you're sitting with contracts already, you got no guarantee you're going to keep those contracts. Right? You got no guarantee. One of the companies we were working, a big company, remember we run turnaround for companies in financial distress, and we're looking at this company and we're saying, this company has been operating for 30 years. Listen, 30 years. The company's working for 30 years. Okay, so they manufacture PC boards, motherboards, right? For the decoders. So they're sitting with massive contracts, right? Massive contracts. They were sitting with massive contracts from Sony, manufacturing motherboards, you know, for phones. And when I look at the business, I'm saying, now, how is it possible? How is it possible that a company that is operating for 30 years, successful business, right? And is now thinking of closing their doors, and putting all their staff off. Now look at their marketing plan, and I look at their marketing plan and I say, okay, great. Can I speak to your marketing team? Can I speak to your marketing team? I just want to have a look at how you're marketing your business. Oh, you know what? We don't actually have a marketing team, you know, because, you know, for the last 20, 30 years, we were the biggest company, and we were the only company supplying this, because we used to manufacture for telecom. We used to make the phones, we used to make the DSTVs, and we had this contract forever. We don't need to market it because we just had this contract. It's just to carry on and carry on and carry on. So we never worried about marketing and building additional streams. And just like that, two of their major contracts that they had for years and years and years just disappeared. And now what? Now what do? Now they have to start marketing again, right? And what happened is, during that time, the competitors moved ahead of them. Yes, the games changes, because when we look at marketing strategy, it's not something which just stays the same. When you look at what happens now, what's happening in marketing now, if you look at 6 months down the line, there's innovation, there's different ways of marketing. It changes every few months. This is how quickly things are moving, right? So you need to move. You need to move as well. You need to adapt. And this is what COVID has done. Companies were forced to adapt their business, changing direction in their business. And this is where these plans comes in. You need to look for these ways to innovate and change, or you're going to be left behind. You're going to be left behind. Is there any questions? I've never asked for funding. Heidi says, never asked for funding. I have retainers to maintain my business. They do innovators to expand my business. I never asked for funding. What, you don't like funding? You don't like funding, Heidi? Why do you want to pay? If there's funding available, that is grant funding that's available for expansion. And remember, the 37 billion is going somewhere. It's going somewhere, right? If you look at the money that is put in from billions, there's about 4.5 billion that has been spent on businesses, right, for growth, for the purpose of creating jobs. It's going somewhere. It's going somewhere. Okay. In fact, I'm working. There we go. Grant funding is available, right? And this is the thing. Funding either costs time or money, right? So you need to understand how it works. If you need funding right now, you can get it. it's going to cost you something. But if you want it free, you want grant funding, great. It's going to take a little bit of time. And I always suggest now, where do you apply? Which one? This is my response always. You apply all of it, guys. You apply all of it. You need to apply all the funding opportunities that there is. You don't have a choice, right? You don't have a choice as a small business. You need to look at all the opportunities, apply for all the funding, and you're not going to hold your breath. You're not going to hold your breath. You're going to apply for all the funding that's available. So you need to know what is available. You need to know what is, that's the first thing, right? And that is where access to information is so important. And this is part of what we do, even with the City of Cape Town. They have partnership agreements with the CETAs, the NEFs, the IDCs, the DTIs, and that list goes on and on and on and on, and all have funding. You need to know what is available, and you don't access funding when you need it. Guys, I mentioned this over and over. You don't access funding. You don't want to access funding when you desperately need it. No, then you're desperate. You're going to take what you're going to get. You know, you're going to take it. You need to access it now. You don't need it right now, but you need to know what is available. You need to know what the criteria is, what it is that you need to do, and you go and you apply now to all of them. You go and speak with the fund managers. You go and speak with the directors, and you find out, great, what are you funding? What do I need to do? How do I apply? And if you don't know, CEDA is there. CEDA will help you put your costing analysis. They will do your cash flow projection. They will do the business plan, and you don't have to pay for it, right? So, but you need to understand, and you need to build the relationship. Remember, we said connecting. I mean, when we started, the very first thing that we did was connect, right? And when we say connect, you are going to connect. You need to know who the regional manager is of CIFA. You need to know the fund. You need to go and meet them, go to their offices, look at and speak to them. You need to build a relationship with them, right? They're sitting with money. Listen, they are sitting with money, right? We had a few weeks ago with CIFA, right? The regional manager of CIFA, Charlie, right? As the regional manager in the Western Cape. I said, no, we're supposed to have a meeting. No, he's off to Johannesburg. He's having a meeting with CIFA, with all the regional managers of the CIFA. Why? Because they ran short of their target by 1 billion. CIFA. Listen, this is reality. 1 billion short. This is 1 billion that was supposed to be spent on small business that has gone back into treasury because it was not spent. Can we understand how is it possible? How is it possible that 1 billion rand is not spent? But this is the reality. This is the reality, right? It's not that businesses don't need the fund. The funding is there. The funding is there. You need to build the relationships, guys. You need to build the relationships. Okay. Okay. Here's the funding website. Okay. Naeem, can you just see who's mic that is, please? Naeem, CPU. Just wait, we're just going to try and track down whoever that is. Thank you. Thank you. We're carrying on. Okay. So, guys, are we good to carry on? Are we good to carry on? Do you want to take a short break? Let me know. Just let me know in the chat box. Are we good to carry on? We want to take a short. It's your time. Remember, we're done. We've done. You can carry on with your weekend. It's up to you. Can we carry on? Can we carry on? We're fine. Carry on. Take a break. Please carry on. Yes, carry on. Okay, let's carry on. Okay. So we're going to move on. Everyone says, yes, we are carrying on. We are carrying on. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. And Andrew says, carry on. We're carrying on. Okay. So we look at leadership, right? And we're saying it's a critical part of a business because remember, when you've developed your plan now, remember for 2023, you've identified the areas that you want to grow, the streams that you want to build, right? You have your motivation, right? So you have your motivation, you have your clarity on what it is that you want. And now you are focused, right? So you are focused, right? You have your plan of action. It's written down, right? It's on your wall that everyone can see it. This is where we're on now, right? So remember, you've taken the weekend, right? You have you identified your compass, right? Your purpose, you have your focus, you have your streams is identified, things that you want to do. You've broken it down into tasks, you put it on a sheet, and you've stuck it up on your wall. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now we get to great. Now we get to driving it. And that is where leadership comes in, because now you realize, when it's up on the wall, right? You soon realize, wait a minute, it's me, right? Am I able to do all of these things? And this is where leadership come in. And we got many different definitions of it, right? And you can go through some of the definitions of what leadership is, right? My favorite, right, of leadership is Warren Bennis, right? Leadership is the function of knowing yourself, having a vision that is well communicated, building trust amongst colleagues, and taking effective action to realize your own leadership potential. And I'll tell you why that's my favorite, is because when we do turnaround, we're saying we need to know who's driving it. So you need to know, firstly, yourself, what it is that you do very, very well. And the reason why we say that is because the only way you can do more is if you're doing things that you really love and you do effortlessly. So you need to know what that is. You need to know exactly what that is and where to position yourself in your business, right? And you can't just go anywhere, right? Remember, where you position yourself, that's where you're starting, right? That is very, very important. So you need to know a few things. First, you need to know what it is that I'm good at, what I do effortlessly, and what I do best, better than anyone else. That is where I'm going to position myself in my business, okay? That is what I'm going to do, right? And then you need to have the plan of action on what it is that you need to do. And yes, you need to have people behind you, because you realize soon enough that if you're having targets of 1 million, 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, guys, you are not going to do it alone. It's impossible. It is too much to do. So the sooner you realize this, right, the sooner you realize, yes, I need to position myself somewhere first. Great, that's step number one. Number two is, who do I need next to me? Because that can't just be anyone. It can't just be anyone. It needs to be someone very, very special, right? That is good at the things that I'm not good at, right? And so knowing that is something very, very important. That brings us to the next section on dynamics. And I want you to understand how leadership plays in to understanding what it is that you do, and plays in to leadership, plays into leadership. And this is where we get to dynamics. And everyone that is here, I'm going to send a link, or Sapiu is going to send a link for everyone that is here today, to be able to do an assessment, okay, to do an assessment on yourself and your staff. Okay, so you're going to do an assessment, very, very short, a psychometric assessment, just to determine, and there's many out on the market. I know that there's Colors, there's Myers-Briggs, you can, the list goes on and on and on, right? On assessments to assess strengths and weaknesses. Whichever one you use, it doesn't matter, but we're going to send you one that you can do for free. You can do it for free for your staff, so you have more homework for the weekend. You're going to do the assessment right on yourself and your staff, the people that's working with. If you have a business partner, they're going to do it as well. They're going to, everyone. And if you're thinking of bringing someone on board onto your business, they're going to do it as well. Why? Because you want the right person. You want the right person. It's going to make a huge difference to your business, because here's the thing. We cannot, when you look at your action plan, a strategy, effectively a strategy for your business, right? if we have two businesses, identical size, same business, same industry, right? The strategy for those, the ideal strategy for those businesses will be totally different, dependent on who is running it. I mean, I need to say that again. Depending on who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, right, is going to determine the best strategy for your business. There is no one-size-fits-all strategy. If you're in a business, I can't give you a strategy. I can't give you a growth strategy unless I know who exactly you are. What are you good at? What are you good at? What is your strengths and what is your weakness? When I know that, what you have to work with and who's the people that I have to work with, now I can say, you know what, this is going to be the best for you, right? And it might be totally different to another business that's exactly the same industry, but they have a totally different strategy. Okay, so you need to be very, very clear on what that is. When you've done your assessments, you're going to share it. Okay, you're going to share it with the people around you, because you need to know, people around you need to know what I'm good at and what I'm bad at. It's very important. So when I'm with my staff, they know I am technically challenged. That's why I have Naeem in the background and Sipiu. They're my technical team, and if I have any technical issues, they are there to assist me, right? I'm technically challenged with those things. When it comes to reports, those are things I'm not good at. I'm not good with writing reports, right? But when it comes to things like marketing, sales, connecting, networking, those are things that I enjoy doing. I'm very good at those things, right? So you need to understand where you fit in, because those are two different things. So if we go into a business and we see the director, the main team driving that business is marketing, is a marketing, high energy marketing person, we know that person is not going to have a problem with sales. Sales is going to be very, very good. They might not be making money though. Okay, they might not be, their profit might not be very, very good, but they will have sales. And if we on the opposite side, and we have that person that is very, very detail orientated, low risk, we have a finance person that is very good with numbers and finance and budgeting. We know the finances is going to be very, very good in that business. That the finance documents is all in order, very organized, very structured, but we know they're going to have a problem with sales. They're not going to have enough sales in their business. We know already before we even go into that business, we assess who is running it. We do the psychometric assessments, and we know, guarantee every single time, spot on. We will tell you exactly where the problems is in your business. Before we even go to the business, we will tell you you're going to have a problem there. Why? Because we know that you're having a gap. You have a gap in your business that needs to be filled. Okay, to create flow, and this is the link, right? You guys can take it down. If you don't want to wait, if you don't want to wait for Sipiu to send you the PowerPoint, you can take it down, www.5institute.com. So that's the company that does it. It's a UK-based company. It's free to go and do it. You simply put in your email address. It's going to send you a link with a password. You can go and complete it. 10 minutes, you're done. It's completed. It's going to send you immediately. It's going to send you a one-page report for people like me that prefer short and not too much information. And then for people that is more detail orientated, there is an in-depth report over 30 pages that no doubt you will go through. Okay, so when you have that, it's going to give you a very clear understanding of where you sit and where to start developing a strategy for your business and positioning yourself. Okay, positioning yourself. So we're going to go through very, very quickly. We're going to go through very, very quickly a few of the profiles and how it impacts on your business, right? And I know I'm going through very, 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 very quickly, but this is the most important part of your business. And we look at how this impacts. I need to explain this, that it impacts on every area of your business, not just your strategy. It impacts on how you sell. It impacts on how you sell your business, how you promote your business, okay? Because there's different types of buyers, different types of buyers. When we do a pitch, right? And we do a lot of pitch for corporates and companies, right? Most of the time when we get to pitch stage, when we get to presentation stage, right? It gets awarded to us. Why? Right? Not because we're very, very good necessarily at it, but we assume, right? We assume that sitting there on the committee that is deciding whether or not we're going to get that contract, okay? We assume that all these different personalities are sitting there in the audience. We just assume that they're all there, one of each of them are there, and they're all looking for different things. So if you have your creative person, that is your wood personality. So if you've done your assessment and you are wood, you are creative, you're innovative, you're coming up with ideas, right, in your business. So you have an innovative business that need to be changing all the time. And we met a business like that we mentored, right, called Chocolate by Tombs. Chocolate by Tombs. They're in the waterfront opposite Mr. Price. And you'll see those, they make these hand-designed chocolates. Yes, handmade. Why? Because this is the owner and director. They are wood, right? Creative. They just come up with ideas every single day. They wake up in the morning, let's try this different chocolate. And we got them into Pick and Pay. Listen, we got them into Pick and say, we love your chocolates. Please supply us. You know what they told Pick and Pay? They told them Pick and Pay, sorry, we don't think Pick and Pay is the right brand for our brand, because we are Chocolate by Tombs. Yeah, and it wasn't, unique. We thought that Pick and Pay might taint our brand a bit, because we want to have that unique chocolate that our customers comes and they're willing to pay 15 Rand for one block. You understand? That's our client, and we're happy because that is our brand. And we next week we have a new range. You understand? We can't supply the whole of Pick and Pay. Can we understand how different the business is and their strategy? It impacts on the strategy, right? Dependent on who you are. So you need to know. You need to know who you are as a business, and where you sit and where the value is. Fire on the right, so that's here, red, you'll see they extroverted. This is where I sit. So I'm marketing, I'm well connected, I'm very good at sales, very good at selling. So if you don't have this energy, if you don't have this personality in your team, you're going to have a problem with sales. Why? You don't have to explain or tell a salesperson how to sell. They do it effortlessly, without energy, without giving off a lot of energy. Effortlessly, they will sell. You understand? So you need to have this person in your team. If you have this, but they're going to go crazy. They're going to connect you with the right people. They're going to sell your business effortlessly, right? They're going to build your database. Remember, these are people that does it. They are connectors, right? They are connectors, right? Fire, energy, they go crazy, they don't get tired. All you need to do is give them commission. If you have fire, right? Remember, if someone says, I don't like commission, they're not salesperson. No, if someone says, give me a basic, give me a basic rather, no, then they're not fire. Then they are metal. Because what is metal? They're the opposite. Those are the gray there. You'll see Lord. Different terms: steel, metal, winter, right? Low risk. These are money people. They are managing your finances. They don't like taking risks. They love money. They don't like spending it. Very, very important person to have on your team, because they're gonna manage your money and they make sure you're making money. Not the best at marketing. Ideally, keep them far away from your clients, because you don't want them speaking to your clients, because they're not people's person. They're not very friendly. Right? They're not very friendly people, but very, very important to have, because they're going to make sure you're making money. Yeah, hopefully you have this person managing performance, right? So you need to understand the value the person adds to your team. If you have your marketing person, if you have your money person, you're going to have a very good business. You're going to make money, right? You're going to have systems, you're going to have performance, you're going to have structure. Okay, right? The person at the bottom there, the person at the bottom, trader, they also refer to them as earth, right? That is the person. We did work for the city. Most of the city, you could say 70% of people working for the city is earth. Earth is, they need it. You need to understand, right, that if you're the leading your business, you're the leader in your business, and you have people working for you, you need to equip them with what they need. This is simple. You equipping them, you're giving them what they need, right? But the thing is, they need different things. They need different things. So if you were to see your business, if I use an analogy of, let's say, a nursery, right? So a nursery, or use the analogy of a nursery. You're in the nursery, different types of plants, right? So in this nursery, you have what they call cactus. A cactus, it's got thorns on them, right? So that is obviously your metal. That's your metal, that's your lord, that's your introverted person, cold, not too friendly, that's your finance person. In the corner there, you know what, I'm fine there. I don't need a lot of attention. Just leave me there. I can do the same thing over and over. I won't get tired of it. I'm just happy to do it. But if you upset me, I'm gonna prick you. Okay, that is a cactus. They don't need a lot of water. They're just fine on their own, right? That is the cactus. But then you have, on the other hand, you have that fire, right? The fire person, that is your orchid. Yes, if I were to use the analogy in plant terms, that is your orchid. So that is very delicate, very sensitive. They emotional. They need special care. They need special care. You need to give them a certain amount of sunlight. You need to literally I found this out, you literally need to put ice blocks in them. They don't just take water. I didn't know that. When you buy an orchid, you get a little manual with it. Yeah, you get a manual, how to take care. They're high maintenance, guys. Orchids are high maintenance. You need to give them ice blocks. You need to talk to them, not too sunny, not too cold. You need to give them food, not just water. Yeah. You give them a little food as well. You understand? So very difficult. You need to understand this. But when you give them what they need, they move very, very fast. Yes. When you give them what they need, they move very, very fast. And this is what you need to understand. If you are leading, you need to give them what they need. If you have a creative person and you don't give them an opportunity to create, you're going to have a problem, because creators are very good at starting, but they're not very good at finishing, right? So you need to have that earth there. I mean, administrative tasks, registering. This is why companies that say, I still need to register with the city, I still need to do an application for funding. That is earth, guys. They're brilliant and administrative task, which is why when you look at the city, they have a lot of earth in the city, because low risk. They don't like taking a chance. They like doing the same thing over and over. And the reason for that is they need an understanding. They need to understand everything before you can get the maximum out of that person, which is why when we look at the definition of leadership, right, sharing a vision that's well communicated, that's what it's saying. If you have earth and they don't have a strategy, you're only getting 40% out of that person. Listen, they need a clear plan. They need to know why I'm doing this, how am I going to do it, when it needs to get done, and they're going to do what needs to happen. They are diligent. They are worker bees, guys. They are worker bees. They're going to get the things done, but they need to know where you're heading. And this is why you need to give them that. You need to give them very, very clear, detailed action plan, what needs to happen. This is where we need to do, and they're going to do it. They can do a lot. This is why I'm saying they can do 10 times more than you, right? Fire personalities, they're all over the place. If they are running their business, they're not going to be registered. We speak to fire all the time. They're marketing, they're chatting, but you haven't registered yet. Like, it's been 6 months. Yes, it's been 6 months. I've been trying for 6 months to register with the city, but you're all over the place, networking events. No, you haven't registered yet. I mean, that is the purpose of Earth. You need to get this. So guys, the reason why I'm going through this is, no matter what it costs, it doesn't matter what it costs. You need to get the team together in your business. You need to know where you sit. Okay, great, I'm fire. I need to get metal. I need to get metal, right? And I need to get earth as well. If you have 4, listen, your first 4, if you have 4 and you like that, yo, guys, you can't stop it. You can't stop that organization, even if you tried. It's gonna move so fast. In a year or 2, you're doing your 100 million. The only way to do that is to put this team together. Yes, is to put that team together. If you don't have that team that is gonna work effortlessly, right? It's gonna take you 20 years. And I'm not exaggerating. It'll take you 20 years or you're never going to get there, right? Because the idea is, if you have a marketing person doing marketing things and they only do that, they're going to move because they're doing more of the things that they should do. If you have Earth and you have that person that is there that is very good at administration, but they know where they're heading and they're very, very clear, they're going to get the things done. Your metal, they're going to make sure you're making money and you're getting money. You're getting money in to run it. And your innovation, you are going to innovate and you're going to come up with new ideas and innovations in your business. And you're going to put it together very, very quickly around a table. And this is what we see. Literally, we do activities around dynamics in a team. We sit around a table in an hour. They come up with the most brilliant concepts and ideas because they're sitting around a table and everyone is clear on what the value is and what value they bring to the team. Can we understand how this works? So if we are pitching to Pick and Pay, or we're pitching to Old Mutual or Metropolitan or anyone, and there is a board that's sitting there, and we come to the committee and we say, great, we know when we're doing our presentation, right? There isn't something innovative, the colors, the way that it looks, the appearance, and there is wood there. They want to see innovation. They want to see color. They want to see, it needs to look good when we see it, because that's what wood want. Fire, marketing, they want to connect emotionally with that presentation. How does it affect me? You know what? This project is going to affect this little boy, John, and it's going to change his life forever and ever. Amen. Right? It's emotional. It's emotional. They need to understand the passion you have. They need a story. So you need to give them a story so they can connect emotionally with your presentation, right? Lord Metal, they don't care about John. Really, they don't care they don't care emotionally. It makes no sense. Am I making money? How am I going to make money? How am I going to benefit? Give me the research. Show me what you've done. Why do I even need this? You understand? Give me the costing, give me the breakdown, give me the figures, give me the spreadsheets so that I can go and analyze the data and see this is something that I want. If I don't get that, I cannot give you a decision. Can we understand how this works? Guys, you need to understand how this works, right? If it's Earth that is sitting there, they need a process. They need to see in my presentation, remember Earth, they need to understand how this whole thing is going to unfold. They need a story from the beginning to the end. This is how long it's going to take. This is who's going to be involved with this project. This is how it's going to happen. This is my methodology. This is how I'm going to do it. If they don't get the full picture from start to finish on how, with timelines, they cannot make a decision. Can we understand? They cannot make a decision because they see things differently. Everyone sees things differently. And if you're able to understand how they see things and repackage what you're offering, right, to them, it gives you a huge advantage. Listen, It gives you a huge advantage because you need to understand this. And the more you understand, the more you're able to equip. And this is how you work with the people around you. So how you work with the people around you. I know we're moving on. We're moving on very, very quickly. I'll give you one more example. Is there a question? Andrew Bosman, you have a question? Go for it, Andrew. You can unmute.
Yes, Salid, thanks so much. Just thinking about the fact that these traits can be, multiple, and they can be stronger or weaker in some people. And can you maybe talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So look, so this is what happened. So remember, and I remember being in a workshop with the city. We're doing project management, and the city said, no, when you're working for the city, you must be able to do everything. you must be able to do everything. You can't say you can only do X and only do Y. No. So listen. So everyone has a little bit of everything. This is how it is. So when you look at a profile like this, so this is a profile. It's unique. That whole shape is unique. You have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So this is why I'm saying, when I say, right, that you're better at something than one thing than the next, it doesn't mean you don't have a little bit of those traits in you, because everyone has a little bit of everything, right? So you can do everything. It's just there is things that you do better. Right. So if you were to look at this profile, this person is by far a marketing salesperson and very, very weak at the other areas, right? And this is what we're saying. This is what we're saying. So we're saying, if you know what you're very, very good at and you do more of those things, you're going to be twice as productive, and you're going to do a lot more, which is what you want in a business. You need to do more. The more you do, the quicker you're going to move in your business. So it is very, very important for you to understand where you fit in. And this picture, you need to be clear on what it is. You need to be clear on what it is. And you need to obviously share that with the people around you, because you see these areas at the bottom here, that's the areas that you need to build up in your business. You need to have people that is good in those areas, because all those things needs, not only does tasks needs to happen, you need to evolve and move in those roles. And this is the key thing. If you're in marketing, right, you cannot just be doing marketing. You need to evolve in marketing. And this is the challenge as a business owner, right? You want someone, you don't want to tell someone what to do, right? You need to have people with you that's going to tell you what to do. And the only way that that's going to happen, if you have someone that is exceptionally good, right? Exceptionally good. So yes, you do very seldom. I've seen once before. I've seen a profile that was quite unique. It's basically a little bit of everything, right? But not really strong in one. And there's that term, what is it? Master of, I don't know what the term is. But the very good at everything, but not very, very good at everything, if you understand. So you can do everything. You can fit in almost like a chameleon and do a lot of different things, but not doing it exceptionally well. But if it's actually better if you way to the one side. In other words, I'm clearly good at that, because if you're able to do that, you're able to do it better than anyone else. And remember, this is how you move forward in an organization. It's by excelling in certain areas. And this is how you differentiate yourself from others, by identifying, yes, I can excel in that area and do more of those things. Okay, so I hope I've answered your question, and maybe if I can give you, I'm going to give you a simple example that you can apply, because not just your business, if you can apply it to your daily life, right? So if you were to look at, let's say you want to buy a car, right? Let's say you are fire, you want to buy a car. Let's say your spouse is fire and you want to buy a car. You have a car, but you want to buy a new car, right? So very simple. If your spouse is fire, easy. Honey, look at this new car. I mean, just look at it. It's brand new. Imagine yourself sitting in this car, driving up to work, or driving kids to school in this brand new shiny car. You're just going to look amazing behind the wheel of that car. Great. It might work. Let's get a car. If your spouse, however, is metal, remember, metal or Lord or steel, right? I don't care what I look behind the wheel of the car. There is no way we're gonna buy this car. We have a car. It works perfectly fine. Yes, it gives us issues now and then, but we can carry on with the car. We're not gonna buy the car. So if you change your approach, and now remember, this is what we're saying. If by understanding who the person is, if you're able to change your approach, that gives you an advantage. So if you were to say instead, because now you know my spouse is metal, not fire, right? We're going to say, fine. You know what, honey? We have this car. If we look at how much fuel we're spending on this car, how much money we're actually spending on maintenance of this car, look at these 5 cars that we're able to look at. Here's the stats for the car. If we get these cars now, we're going to save money on fuel, right? We're actually going to make money. It's going to be an investment. If we get this car now, we're going to save on fuel. Look at the depreciation of these cars, right? Actually going to increase in value. We're actually going to make money rather than lose money currently by getting these cars. And I've printed out all the information for you at these cars. Look at the research that I've done. Take your time and go through the stats. And I'm sure that once you've gone through it, you will see that by getting this car, it's actually going to be better for us. Okay, you understand? So can we see what we've done? The same thing, but we've changed our whole approach according to who the person is. And this is why I say it is, when you understand this, it impacts on every aspect of your business and your life, right? It's not just relating to your business. We're busy with people and we're developing people, but it's very, very helpful in business, very, very helpful in business. Is there any more questions? Okay, is there any more questions? Let me just go through quickly. I don't have a chance. The metal will be convinced, practical fuel saving and safety. Yes. They need all of those. They need all the details. They need all the value, and they don't want to make decisions. It's difficult for them to make a decision. Remember, they love money, so they don't want to give it away very, very easily. You understand? So you need to motivate. You need to understand how the brain works. But when you do, it makes it a lot easier. Understanding. When you understand, it makes it a lot easier to lead and equip even the people around you. Very, very important. So we're going to go through very, very quickly. And I know that we're moving very, very fast. So just a few examples of creators. These are Wood personalities. We're not going to go through all the profiles, but we all know that guy is Richard Branson. Companies Wood, over 200 businesses, creating new, doesn't run them. Why? Because it's what Wood do. They move, they get bored very, very quickly. They get bored very quickly. So sitting in one business, not going to happen. Not going to happen. So you need to understand, if this is you, you need creativity. You need to have change. Or if you're in an org, if you're working for the city of Cape Town and you are an innovator, you creative person, you're going to feel, I can tell you without a doubt, right? You're going to feel claustrophobic, right? You're going to feel smothered. You're going to feel smothered in the city because why? The city is keep the same structures, do the same thing, process, structure, systems. You're not going to fit. They don't fit in there. They don't fit in there. You know what? Because why do we want to change something that works? Keep it the same. Let's just do the same thing, right? That's totally different to creative. So different type of businesses. So if you look at Google, the whole business, the whole structure, right, is about innovation. It's about change. Microsoft, let's come up with it, right? Something new. It's not perfected yet, but let's do it, right? Can we understand the different energies in those businesses? If we look at different profiles like Fire, Oprah, it's all about the brand. Very good. It's about connecting. It's about connecting and marketing, chatty type of person. That is Fire. That's what they do. They love to shine. They love to shine, right? And if you have these people, well, you know, they need care. You speak to them in a certain way. And yes, you do what you need to do. But when you have them on your side, you're going to get more out of them. So you need to understand how it impacts on businesses, right? So when we look at these businesses like Uber, MTN, when Vodacom was sitting, looking at building routes, build infrastructure, MTN, young people, they've got young, innovative, the directors, the marketing, all young, innovative type of people, marketing people, young salespeople, they weren't interested in building routes here in South Africa. No, we don't need to build our own towers. We can use Vodacom's towers. Let's move into Africa, which is why MTN, the biggest network in South Africa, because their strategy was about growth, connecting, expansion, exploring, and moving into Africa, which is why they're the biggest network into Africa. Their whole business strategy is different. Can we see how it changes? How it changes according to who you are. And they figured this out very, very early. Very, very early. Okay. Okay. Multi-passionate person. Great. Great. We're moving on. I'm gonna read the messages, all the messages. I can't read all of it as I'm going through, but I will take some time just to go through some of the messages. Metal guys, we all know that guy, Warren Buffett. Very, very low risk, right? Very low risk organization, right? More investors, right? Very cautious, right? So these are money people. You need them in your business. You need them in your business. Very, very important. The types of business that's built on metal. McDonald's, right? McDonald's. So people are surprised. Apple, let's perfect it, right? So those of you that have an Apple product, let's do it well. Let's do it better. Let's perfect it before we launch. They take a long time to perfect things. Whereas Microsoft, just go quickly, let's get it done. McDonald's, not a lot of staff. Remember, their business is not selling burgers, their business is in property. So only 26 people, if you compare it to other businesses, 26 staff, the whole of McDonald's in South Africa. Not very big, you know, they don't want to build lots and lots of staff. It's a system-driven business. We sell you a concept that works. We're selling you a business. We own the property, so we are a property company, right? Which is Lord. If you look at metal, Lord, landlord, you need to understand how they make out, how they're thinking of making money. It's different to everyone else. They're looking at low risk, retaining, making a percentage of their assets, and this is different to other businesses. So you need to understand which business you're in, right? If you're in that business and you metal, you're gonna do well, right? This is why when you read books, you know, about successful business people, you need to look at the personality. You need to look at the personality. You can't take someone else's plan. If you are not metal, you can't play the metal game. You can't play the metal game. You're not fire. You can't play the fire game. It's not the game for you. You understand? You need to understand who you are, and you need to know which game to play, which is the best game to play, right? And this is how they play the game. It's a system. They own property, and this is how they make money from property, not by selling burgers. Okay, so you need to understand how this works. And once you find what it is that you do very, very well, you're gonna start moving very, very fast, which is what you want, right? You're gonna move effortlessly, and that is what you want. You're gonna identify what is the game that you're gonna play. You have your strategy. You're gonna put the team together, right? You're gonna put the team together as soon as you can. And I know it's a difficult decision to make, right? And it's a decision many businesses may have to make. It's not a tough decision. Bringing someone on board, especially if you metal. Remember, metal, low risk. We don't want to take a chance. Do we need to employ someone now? No, let's just carry on. You understand? This is why you need the balance. You need the balance between metal and fire. Why? Fire will say, let's go crazy. Let's just employ another people. We just take a risk. Metal will say, no, it's not the right time. Let's wait another year or 2, 5 years, 10 years, right? Can we understand the difference? So you need to have the balance. You need to have the balance, or you're not going to move. And this is why we're saying, and remember, one of the companies, they was manufacturing lawnmowers. We mentioned it before, and we looked at this. Remember, they're a big company, but their warehouse is full. Warehouse is full of lawnmowers. You say, but what's wrong? I mean, why is your warehouse full of lawnmowers? You manufacture lawnmowers, but your warehouse should be empty. No, You know, our salesperson, maybe not the, now we go in and assess the salesperson. The salesperson is an engineer. An engineer. Engineers are not salespeople. They can go into the detail of the lawnmower, give you the specs and the dimensions, but they are not salespeople. We're saying, how long? Now this guy's been with us for 15 years. You know, I can't, we recommend it. We're saying you need to change this person. I say, no, but we get along so well and he's here like 15 years. I can't. I say, fine. You know what? No problem. I understand. All we can do is advise. As consultants, we advise. We're saying here's a problem here. This is not a sale. Why? We speak to him and we say, he's saying, I ask you, when did you approach a new client? No, we don't need to approach. We have clients already, you know. We have clients, why do we need new clients? We have them, we maintain those clients, you know, that we have. Because engineer, you understand what I'm saying? And this is the thing, engineers love engineers. Oh, yes, they love each other because, I mean, they just understand each other very, very well. You understand? This is the thing with engineers. They love engineers. The problem is they're not selling. And yes, it took a long time. It took a long time for him to make the decision. I say, you struggle for 6 months and you come back to me, right? The warehouse is full after 6 months, still full. I say, you can't train someone to sell. It's just how it works. It's like, I'm not wasting my energy. I'm not wasting my energy explaining to someone how to sell if that person is metal. I won't even waste my time, right? Yeah, give me a salesperson. You don't have to explain. They are. I'll speak to them. If they are fire, great, I'll tell them what to do and they will go crazy and do it. After 6 months, came back to me and says, you know what, okay, fine. Let me bring someone, no problem. Got someone on board, sales, marketing, did an assessment. Yes, the salesperson. In less than 6 months, warehouse empty. Warehouse empty. Right? They're waiting for supply. You understand what I'm saying? It's a choice that you make. It's a choice that you need to make, right? It's not an easy choice, yes, but you have to do what you need to do to put the right team together and make the decisions, yes, to bring people on board and irrespective of the cost. Yes. Spice Maker had to make a choice. He had to make a choice to bring that person on. That person knew how to get into Pick and Pay at the time, knew how to get into ShopRite. He didn't know, you know what, I need to pay. This is the decisions that he needed to pay. The guy did not have the money to pay him. He told him, I can't pay you. He said, I can't pay you. Maybe half of the month I can pay you. I can't pay you for the full month, but I'll give you a percentage. I'll give you a percentage of growth. I can give you that. Can you do it? Yes, I can do it. Great. Go for it. And he did it. You understand? But you need to have the people. Time, critical. Guys, you need to manage your time. Every second of it, every day. If you're not doing it, it just fly by. It just fly by, right? The time just flies by very, very quickly. And if you can just write it down and remember, this is a question you're going to ask yourself every single day. Is this a simple question? Simple question. You can remember it. You don't have to write it down. You can just remember it. Is this activity an investment of my time? And is it getting me closer to my goals? That's it. It's simple. Is it an investment of my time? This is what you're going to ask yourself 5-10 times a day, every day, 5-10 times a day, every day. This activity that I'm doing now, is it an investment of my time? Is it getting me closer to what I need to where I'm going? I mean, it's a simple question. You're going to hold, because look, guys, no one is going to hold you accountable. You unfortunately have to do it for yourself, but it's a question you're going to ask yourself. And remember, we had the discussion on finding your purpose. What is your number one? That is priority. Be clear on what that is, and focus on growth. Remember, when you look at the opportunities that there is currently in South Africa, it's there for growth, right? It's there for businesses that want to move. If you want to move, there's an opportunity for you to be able to, but it's based on growth and pushing. And this is how you push, right? When we look at pushing, right? It's like pumping. I don't know, guys, if you know the old pumps that you used to pump. Right, you used to prime the pump. You used to put a little bit of water in, and you used to pump. Right, you used to pump, but you need to pump a lot. You need to pump a lot for it to be able to move. Right, and this is how it works in reality. You can't do it slowly. You can't do it slowly. You can't do it slowly because if you pump slow with a pump, it's a hand pump. You need to pump fast, guys. You need to pump it fast in order for it to move. If you do it slow, Like, and because this is what people do, you know, they just decide and they say, you know what, you know, let's try, let's see what we can do. You know, we see how it goes. If it's successful, if I reach it, maybe that's great. If I don't, it's also fine, you know, and you don't move like that. Unfortunately, it's not how it works in business. You're just not going to, if that is not the attitude that you need to have that high growth attitude. You know what? When you start it, and if you do your plan and you put it very, very clear, it's there, you're going to have to push very, very hard, very, very fast, and you're going to push non-stop, and you're going to go crazy, and you're going to pump and pump and pump and pump and pump non-stop for a year, non-stop for a year. That's what's going to happen. And then you're going to move very, very quickly. And if you do that, now you're able to, after a year, once you pump very, very hard, now you can take it a little bit easy because now it's moving, now it's flowing. Can you understand how it works? It flows later. It doesn't flow when you start. That's the difference. It doesn't flow when you start. You have to push and push very, very hard at full capacity for a long period, and then it gets easy, right? And this is unfortunately how it works in business. You can't push slowly. So when you decide to make a decision to move, you decide, okay, great, I'm going to push everything in over this period, and I'm going to give it everything. And then you're going to see the growth. You cannot have the other approach, the slow and listen. It just don't work like that, because you're going to push, you're going to pump forever. You're going to pump for 10 years like that. Well, let's go and see how it goes. And let's see how it goes. And then 10 years has gone by and you're still seeing how it goes. Can we understand how it works? You get it. You need to push and pump hard. You need to pump hard, right? And obviously, it helps if you have a passion and you're doing something that you're really, really passionate about. We're almost there. We're almost there. We have 5 more points, and then we're done. You guys can carry on and start investing your time for the weekend. We are almost there. Naeem, can you, while we're busy, we're going to do the last few points. Can you please check on who has completed the registers? Give me an amount. For those of you that not completed, remember, I'm going to share the recording with you. I'm going to share the PowerPoint presentation with you. I'm going to share the link for your in Word for your business plan. I'll send you the links also for Wesgrow. I'll send you the link for an assessment, for your assessment that you can actually do as well. So if you've completed the register, great. Naeem, please give me an amount. CPU also, can you check for me how many has completed the register so that I know? If you have not completed it, please complete it now. There's also a feedback form. The feedback form goes to the cities to say it was great, it wasn't great. 90 people completed. Thank you very much. There's still 1 or 2 that if you still need to complete the forms, please complete it. Glenda, please send to Glenda CPU your email address, Glenda, if you haven't completed it. CPU will send it. If you haven't received it or completed it yet, please put your email address, and CPU will make sure that you get. Thank you, Glenda. CPU will make sure that you get the link to complete it so that we can share this information. And we're almost done. We're almost done. We're gonna end off with a few simple points, right, that you can remember. And we like to keep things easy. We like to keep things so that you can actually remember them, because we want to see some change. We don't want you to speak to you in a year's time and you are exactly where you are right now. We want to see some movement. So a few simple points, okay? Be prepared to ask, right? Because when you look at, the opportunities that there is, the funding that there is, the opportunity in corporate, is how you're going to do it. You're going to ask the transformation. How can I register on your program? Who do I speak to? You're going to need to ask, right? But I'm not convinced that people know exactly how to ask. I know that it's, most people, when they're asking for funding, it's gimme, gimme, gimme. But guys, this is not how we ask. Guys, this is not how we ask. That's not how we ask, right? I'm gonna show you how to ask. I'm gonna show you how to ask. Very simple, very simple. When we asking, right, And it's a different way of thinking. When you're asking for funding and you say, gimme, because this is how most people ask. Most people ask. They say, give me. But this is not how we ask. Right? I'm telling you now, this is not how we ask. Because when you are speaking to someone, let's say you're speaking to the transformation manager for Pick n Pay, the transformation manager for Sanlam, or whoever, you're speaking to a person. That person is not a business, it's not a company, it's a person. That person has a job to do, right? Their job is tough. Listen, their job is tough. As a transformation manager, their job is to give 90 million away. Yes, that's my job. 90 million rands I must give away to small businesses to grow their businesses. If their businesses grow, I get a bonus point. If they don't grow, I don't get a bonus point. I want a bonus. I have a tough job. I give away 90 million. Next year, I need to give it away again. Yes, I have such a tough job. You understand? So what you're going to do, instead of asking for money, instead of asking, give me, you're going to ask differently. You're going to say, how can I help you spend your budget? Yeah, can we understand the difference? How can I help you spend your budget? How can I help you spend your budget? And guess what? She's going to say, you know what? I have this project running. I need to spend, I'm looking for businesses in this sector. I'm looking for this. And if I get that, I can spend this budget, right? And you're going to say, well, I can help you. Let me understand your process. Let me understand how you spend and what you're doing. Can we understand? This is how we do it. And you're going to help them. And guess what? You're going to help them. And they're going to give you 10 million rands. They're going to give you a contract and they're going to say, thank you. Thank you so much for helping me. Thank you so much for helping me, right? So this is how we ask. We're helping people. We're helping transformation managers. You need to understand their systems before you can help. So you're not going to ask. You're first going to understand. This is what nurturing is, guys. You need to understand how to nurture. Nurture is not selling. Nurture is understanding. You understand their process, understand their job, understand their role, and this is what your job is. You're going to nurture relationships, right? Remember, if you have a target of 20 million, you want those contracts, guys. You need to understand how to nurture. Okay, you need to be doing things differently, right? So there's action plans. It needs to get done. Someone needs to do it. So once you put it down, you have to be doing it. You can have the best of plans. If you're not willing to do what you need to do, well, nothing is gonna happen. You need to find ways to do things, and it's so easy, guys. If you don't know how, there is a session. There's a YouTube. There's YouTube videos on how to do it. The city offers so much free workshops that you can access. There's always ways to do it. You need to go out and seek to develop your, irrespective of the qualifications, irrespective of the qualifications that you have, and this is one of the things, a very big difference. And I remember I was in Munich, Germany. It was a training workshop, and we're there, in Germany, and when we look at, they have training centers there. They trains literally 3,000 people. 3,000. They do short courses, right? And when I look at the people that is in those centers, it is doctors, it is engineers, right? They have MBAs with 20 years experience, and I'm saying, but why are you there? And I'm thinking, and remember, when we look at in South Africa, we get everything for free. It's just like crazy, and I'm speaking to them, and they're saying you get courses for free, and it's like, yes, we get it for free. The government pays for things, corporates pays for things. Then it's like, wow, we pay for these courses is 3,000, 4,000 euros, 4,000 euros a course. They don't get anything for free. We pay for it as part of their development. And when we look at who it's successful people, right? It's successful people. It's already successful. They're just spending money on themselves, and it's like huge. It's like such a huge difference. It's one of the major differences I see between Germany and South Africa, is because they have that mindset, like, there's so much to learn, and that they have that attitude, I don't know enough, I need to learn more, and they have that constant attitude, I need to develop and learn all the time, because they, and one of the questions, I was speaking to one of the guys, and he made a statement, he said, you know what, we have so much in South Africa, we have agriculture, we have minerals, and we have so much here in South Africa. He's saying they in Germany, they got nothing. All they have is what's between their ears, so they invest in that. And this is what the guy said. He said, no, we don't have all those things, that you have in South Africa. We just have what's between our ears, so we invest in that, right? So very, very important. Invest. Obviously, be grateful for what you have. Remember, that gives you the energy, right? That gives you the energy to move and do what you need to do, right? That gives you the energy to move and do what you need to do, which is very, very important, right? And I want you guys over the weekend, right, to do a very simple activity, and it's a very powerful activity, We're not going to do it now. We're not going to do it now. I want you to do it over the weekend, when you have a spare time, and you're by yourself, right? I want you to remember, I said you need to paint a picture, right, of where you want to be in 5 to 10 years time. You're going to paint that picture, right? So painting the picture is fine. You're going to paint it, in your mind, and you're going to eventually paint it on your social media platforms. But the key thing, the thing that is so powerful, right, is that once you've painted the picture in your mind, right, I need you to imagine the feeling that you feel when you already have it, right? I'm going to say it again. It's a little tricky, but it's the difficult part. Remember, painting the picture is tough for most, right? But the key thing is not painting the picture. The key thing is, you paint the picture, you in the picture, but you already have it, right? The feeling that you feel when you already have it. So my target is 50 mil, right? I need you to paint the picture where you see yourself. I'm earning 50 mil. I'm traveling the world. I'm here on the beach, on my yacht, wherever, but I feel it that I already have it. That feeling that you feel when you have it, that is the feeling that I want you to feel, right? Are we clear? The feeling that you feel that you already have it, it's already yours. Can we understand? It's not something that is there. It's already yours. You already have it. It's yours already. That is the feeling that I want you to feel. If you can picture that, and if you can do that, you're gonna move very, very fast. And that's when you realize very, very quickly that you're there to serve. You're there to serve, and that's what you're doing. Whatever business that you're in, if it's not serving others, you don't have a business, right? Remember, when we look at businesses, we don't speak to owners. We speak to clients. We speak to their clients and say, you know what, they're great. How was that experience for you? We look at the experience that you have, and then we know this business is going to be successful. Okay, we are done. Right? We are done. I'm going to share. You'll see there, right? We have the contact details for the city, for the hub, right? For the Cities Hub that's there to support you. That's from the City of Cape Town. That is the number. Remember, the City of Cape Town is there to support you as a business, whether you're doing business with the city or not, but you want to do business with the city. The center is there for you as a small business. If you're having a problem with procurement, you've registered, you haven't you're waiting for registration to go through, or you've completed a tender and you're not happy, you want to find out what happened with us with the tender, and you're not getting a response, you add the business.support email address in onto your email, or you call the center, right? That's at the City of Cape Town. We will also invite you guys. We just had a networking session there. We invited, I think, 40 participants. Only 5 came. Only 5 participants came. So we're struggling to get people. We want you to come to the city. We want you to come to the city. look at where they are. They're at the concourse under the Golden Acre. So we will invite you guys to that face-to-face. It's a networking session where you can come and share a little bit about your businesses there. So we will, everyone that has registered, we're going to share the dates for the next face-to-face session. We also in all the other areas, we're in 24 areas of the city. We were in, I know that I think next week we're going to be in retreat. The following week we're going to be in Guguletu, and then we're going to be in Mitchell's Plain. So we're coming to the areas as well to do the face-to-face sessions on how to do business. We're also doing the costing and breakdown, which is very important for us to connect. So please stay in contact with your local councillor from the city. Find out when those dates is. And we will also share with you from our side, if you've registered, we will share with you where in retreat. I can't remember the venue offhand, but I will share it. I will share it with you. I will share it with you. Okay, so we'll share the venue for retreat. Nadia or CPU will contact you with the venues. And the venues from Mitchell's Plain as well, if you're in those areas. Remember, we struggle to get, especially Mitchell's Plain. I don't know why. We were there twice. We were there twice over the last couple of months. Every time, 5, 6 people there instead of 40. The 40 people say they're going to come, and we can't get people to come to these sessions, right? So please, guys, maintain contact with your local councillor. We will share also the dates for these face-to-face sessions where you can meet the City of Cape Town, and we can actually help you with your business, with the issues that you are actually having. So we will share those dates with you for the face-to-face sessions in your areas, and please make contact with us. If you want to connect on LinkedIn, please do so and connect with me. If I look at your profile and I see a nice professional picture, I will connect with you. Otherwise, I won't connect with you. If I don't see a picture at all, I don't want to connect with you, because remember, you guys need to step up your game on your businesses. Remember, you need to package. So once you package the business nice, you have some pictures on there on what business that you're in, and you send me a connection request on LinkedIn, I will connect with you. Okay. Thank you very much. Naeem, you can just please post the links again for the feedback forms. If there's any questions, you can either type your message, or you can unmute and put up your hand and ask the question. Please send it to Benita Southgate. The link, I will share. I will ask Nadia to share the details for Mitchell's Plain and Manenberg and Retreat. We also run it in Atlantis and all the other areas. We're in all the other areas. We will share that venues with you, so you guys can attend face-to-face in your areas. We don't want you to travel, so we will rather come to you guys. If you have any questions, please, guys, ask your question. I'm just going to unshare, and then I will give you guys a chance to ask some questions if you have questions. If you're shy, Heidi, you can't be shy. You like talking. If you have any questions, you can unmute and talk if you have a question. Otherwise, everyone else you can either type your message or you can unmute if you have a question. Okay. Remember, the chat box is there for you to communicate with each other as well. It's part of networking, so you can share your numbers there. Please share your numbers and connect with each other that is here. If you're looking for contacts, if you're looking for supplies, please put it in the chat box with your contact details, and people can connect. I mean, this is how we connect with each other. So we offer the platforms as well for people to be able to connect with each other. Okay, so please post your message. If you have a question, ask your question. This is the time. I'm giving you guys time to ask your questions. So please ask your questions. You don't have to be shy. We're all here to learn from each other. Benita, you got a question? Go for it, Benita.
All right, thank you, Khalid, and thank you so much for a very informative session once again. My question is just relating to CEDA. So we
Yeah.
have been, we've requested assistance from CEDA, which seems to go absolutely nowhere. The same with our applying as a sorry, on the database for the city.
Yes.
We just seem to be absolutely nowhere. We are registered on all of the other databases. We do business for the Western Cape government, quite a lot of business that we are doing for them. So
Yeah.
that side of business is sorted out, but we just seem to be hitting a brick wall in terms of the city and also getting some assistance and moving forward with CEDA.
Okay.
Is there
So
perhaps a contact, a central contact list for us as
so the number that we left on the last page of your slides, that email address and contact number is for the support for small businesses. So that is a support center for you. Okay, if you're having a problem either registering, so they will do the follow-up for you. So the best thing is either to call them, and they're very, very helpful. You can speak to Loiso there or Andile. They are always there, and they are very, very helpful to be able to assist you in registering with the city. If you're having any blockage, they will follow up for you. I mean, that's what they're there for. So I would suggest either you're going there or you call them or email them, and they will respond. They're very, they're very responsive, and that's going to be the best approach. With regard to CEDA, remember, I always, and some people don't like it. People don't like it. I CC red tape reduction in. I CC red. Remember, the whole function of red tape reduction is to make sure that any obstacle there is for you, is overcome, or challenges that you're having. So I CC red tape reduction in. I CC anti-corruption units in when I'm sending emails, to procurement of Department of struggling to register, because it's unfair, and to have all of these issues. So I CC them all in. I CC everyone in when I send it, and funny enough, I get a response. So I would suggest if you're having challenges, CC red tape reduction in on your emails, and if you're having a problem with the city, please CC the business.support in, or you contact Loiso or Andile and his team, and they will assist. And don't let a week go by and not contact them, because the thing is, this is the time to be on the City of Cape Town now. It's you want to be registered, and the thing is, there's opportunities that's not coming your way as a result. So you can't just sit back and let it be. If it was me, I get up and I go and I go speak to them immediately and wait there till it's sorted out. So you need to do the same. I hope that was helpful. Maurice, Cop, go for it.
Alit, I'd just like to ask something, man. Those of us who are in training,
yes,
it's difficult for us to get like grants or support especially from CIFA and CEDA. Most of the trainings that they do, because I'm part of puzzle of some of the trainings, it's more on those guys who are doing the physical work. Is there any way where we who are in training and workshops, like you guys, where we can get funding? Because it's difficult for us to get funding.
What do you need funding for?
Basically, what is happening, you see, when, like for us, I'll just making an example. When we do first aid and training, those, especially first aid, those dolls and those things, they are very expensive. It's not easy to just buy those dolls.
Yes.
And especially for new upcoming businesses, this is where the problem starts, because that doll, let's just make an example. It might cost about 10,000 Rand.
Yeah.
And that is for one doll. And you can't just do practical with one doll because of the COVID rules and all those things, that and any pandemic that might come up in the near future. So, I mean, for those materials, because CIFA doesn't look into those things for us, they only look into the manufacturing part, where businesses like painting, car wash, and all those things. That's why I'm asking, is there any way that those of us who are in training can get funding maybe for those things? Or do you know any...
Yes, so what I would suggest is, right, it depends on, so that's not an easy question to answer, right, because it depends on a lot of different things. It depends on if you have a contract or not. Remember, so remember, the funding that is there to deliver on contracts, it's easier to get that type of funding, Right. So the easiest way for you to be able to get funding is to get a contract first. So if you have a contract to be able to deliver, let's say, community development projects, but you need three of those dollars because it's hindering your capacity to be able to deliver. That type of funding is very easy to get. So that type of funding is easy to get. You understand, because you have a contract now to be able to deliver on it, right? So if however you don't have a contract and they're just there, you obviously want to purchase it for future work that you're still going to get. That's difficult to get, right? Because you don't have the work yet. So I would suggest first getting the contracts and then reapplying through CIFA, NEF, IDC, and DDET, that has all of them has funding available for those type of things, right? And remember, it's not just government that you need to look at. You need to look at corporates as well that is running those type of initiatives and programs that would fund those type of projects, those type of things for corporates. So they also have funding that is available. That's part of CSI. That's been around for many, many years. You unfortunately need to knock on all those doors, and if you were to go onto Wesgrow, it'll give you a list. It will give you a list of all the funders that's available. And remember, some cost money, some is grant, but at least it'll give you a list of those you can contact that you qualify for. Okay, great.
Hi, Khalid.
Go for it, Linda.
Are you well?
Very well.
Fantastic, brilliant Zoom training. I agree with this. What happens in Germany? I used to live in Switzerland and we never stop learning.
Yeah.
I have a question. We set up a business where we organize in communities, small SMMEs who don't get access to the way we're having access to you now.
Yes.
So we're looking at the slightly lower level, but all very keen, full of passion, and all they need are stepping stones and helping hands. So we go in and we become the stepping stones and the helping hands. And we have up to 50 people at a time who are coming to literacy workshops, to financial literacy workshops, IT literacy workshops, etc., etc. What we never find a way of doing correctly is how do we access funding for some of the operational costs, and they're not salaries even. It's transport, it's renting for venues, and we employ interns who we give 350 Rand a day.
Are you registered as a non-profit company or a PTY?
As a company, PTY Limited, and we have collaboration partners with three or four different other companies who are CETA accredited, CEDA accredited, and TITA accredited.
Okay. You see, this is the thing. So we have a PTY. We also have a foundation. So we are Greenhouse Business Development. We are Greenhouse Foundation, right? So if you are delivering those type of services, right, which falls in the MPO sector, MPC sector, non-profit company sector, non-profit organization sector, then I would suggest you register a non-profit organization, because then you can access funding for community development, for youth development, and for upskilling communities, because then you can access funding for those type of services. But then you obviously need to register a non-profit organization, because then it's part of the cities.
We have a partnership. We have a partnership with somebody called BD Combo, Section 21. And we have a registration partnership with ECDs in the whole of the Blue Downs. We have 50 ECDs.
Okay.
Would that qualify us? Of course. We have collaborative partnership agreements.
It can. It's just how you package it. That's how you package it. You understand? It needs to be, obviously, you must remember, when people obviously look at they look at funding, but the thing is, there's no such thing as funding just for anything. It's jobs. This is what it is. So funding is linked to jobs. So if you package it in a way that says, fine, there's opportunity for jobs, there's opportunity for growth in communities, blah blah blah, you're going to package it accordingly. Yes, there is funding available for that, but remember, the type of funding that you're looking for, if it's grant funding that is for development, the amount of criteria for that is a lot more than if you want to go to SIFA, for example, because SIFA is, even though it's the cheapest finance that's available, it's still money that needs to be paid back. But if it's a grant funding, yes, unfortunately, you need to go through a lot of hoops, and it needs to be packaged in a certain way. So I would suggest when you have it packaged accordingly, and you have the entities with the experience, I would suggest first going to the CFAs, going to a few of the funding agents, looking at what the criteria is, and then packaging it accordingly, rather than first going and applying. Otherwise, you don't get, once you've applied once and you're struggling, or you turn down, it's very difficult to go again for the second time and apply. So I would suggest first going to see the criteria, what the criteria is, and then packaging your funding proposal. Okay.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks. Is there any more questions, guys? If not, please have a great weekend, everyone. Please invest your time. Do not waste it. Please check your emails for the email from Sipiwu, who will be sending you the email. He will also be sending you certificates that Nadia will send you, and also the dates for the up and coming workshops. As soon as we get the dates for the next workshop, we will be sending it, and also the workshops that is happening in the different communities. We will send the dates for that as well. So thank you very much for everyone. We'll still stay on for the next few minutes if there's any more questions. Other than that, everyone else, if you have completed the feedback forms and the registers, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. If there's any questions you have, you can unmute and ask. If not, you can type your message. If you have not completed the register, please do so now. Remember, we will also send you, for those of you, some of you has been coming on and off, we will send you the recording. The session is recorded, so you can, and I know I go through very, very fast. So if you've missed anything, you can go through and just watch the video again. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hope you have a great weekend. If there's any questions, you can ask now on your business. If you have specific questions relating to your business, any challenges you're having, we're happy to answer them right now. Otherwise, thank you very much. If you've completed the register, thank you very much. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Patricia, for joining us.
I do have a question.
Go for it, Glenda.
I didn't hear in your presentation that you have some activities in the Greater Blue Dance Mufuleni Drift Sands region. We have a huge demand there with the stubborn youth unemployment and women unemployment particularly,
Yes.
but not only.
So we will be in all the areas. I know that it's up to your local City of Cape Town councillor to actually set it up, get the business owners together. All they need to do is contact us, or Lohiso from the city hub, or Andile and their team, and say, you know what, we want to have a workshop, and we will come to your workshops, to your areas, to come and offer it there. You know, so my suggestion is, instead of waiting for your councillor to come to you, you go to the City of Cape Town office closest to you, and then find out who's the correct person to speak to for community development projects, specifically for business. Remember, the city's it's part of the city's mandate to make sure that businesses are registered with the city. They don't have enough companies registered. There were 14,000 registered vendors. There's only 4,000 vendors currently on the new e-services portal, which is a problem for the city. So the city wants to engage with you guys. So please make contact with your councillors, and the businesses can just get together and we will come to your area, no problem. We anytime that we will come to you. We just need a group of people to come together, and we will be there. But please engage.
Fantastic, fantastic. I will, but we do have a little bit of a hiccup, is that we don't have the kind of general support that we would like from councillors. I don't live in the area, so I'm not affected, but for many of our clients who ask for support, they have councillors who are, well, what's the word? Lackadaisical?
Yes.
And so we, together with a community called the Greater Blue Downs Business Chamber and Trust, are in fact taking up the mantle of connecting.
Okay. But that's why.
Legitimate?
But that's what we want. I mean, we go to, this is why I'm saying some areas we go and we have sessions, and there's 40 businesses. In fact, there's more than 40 businesses, right? There's more than 40 businesses, because obviously they are connected. They have forums, they have business forums, they have youth development forums, and they are maintaining contact with the councillor. They're saying, look, we want this, and they are pushing for it. Other areas, they don't have that. And the councillors are maybe not pushing, you understand, or they do push, and businesses say they're going to come and then they don't come. So it actually depends on you guys. So please do a little bit more pushing. I know it's challenging sometimes, but it's unfortunately the things we need to do as business owners. We need to push a little bit harder, and if you have a forum that is able to push to make things happen, then by all means do so. But I mean, as far as we're concerned, if there is any interest, we will be there and to support you guys and come to your areas. Okay.
Super, fantastic. Thank you very much. Leaving the meeting.
Thank you, Glenda. Keep well, everyone.